Ah, I have everything now. I've got crumpets, gingerbread cookies, scones.
Excuse me, sir, but aren't you going to an awful lot of trouble for a British sub-lieutenant? After all, sir, that's as low as an ensign in our Navy.
Don't you think I know that, you boob? It so happens that this particular British sub-lieutenant is the first cousin of Admiral Clivedon Summers.
Now I get it, sir. And if you can make a good impression on his cousin, then Comfleet will find out about it, and then very smart.
Yes, well done. Now, let me see, where was I? Watercress sandwiches.
Hi, Captain, you sent for us?
McHale, don't you ever... Stop knocking when I'm talking to you.
Yes, they invited us to a tea party.
Hey, you put that down, you dunce. The thing I'd invite you to is a glass of hemlock on the rocks. McHale.
Yes, sir?
Any minute, Sub-Lieutenant Clivedon is due here. He is the first cousin of Admiral Clivedon Summers of His Majesty's fleet. He is coming here for temporary duty.
Well, if there's any way we can help, sir, we'll be around.
No, you will not be around. That's just it. You and your bunch of cutthroats are too uncouth for such a refined British officer and gentleman. So you are barred from this base until further notice, and that's an order.
Well, if that's the way you want it, sir, come on, Chuck.
But, sir, I think you're making a mistake. After all, I'm an expert on etiquette. Why, back at dancing school, whenever we had a tea party...
Dancing school? Give me my... Oh!
Well, now, see, that's what I mean, sir. You never thwart yourself first. You see, in the correct...
Sir, please, not the scones!
Almost ruined me, a stupid nitwit.
Captain Bingham! No! Sir, you got your teacup.
Did you have to barge in here like that? What are your manners?
But, sir, he's coming up the steps now. Sir, it's Sub-Lieutenant Clivedon.
All right, just stand back and learn, you clod. You're about to see a man schooled in dignity and grace. Come in.
Sub-Lieutenant Clivedon reporting for duty, sir.
Huh? Welcome to Taratupa, Lieutenant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, pardon me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, here, I'll get that.
Dreadfully sorry, sir.
Oh, that's quite all right, boys. Quite all right. Accidents do happen, you know. Carpenter, you...
Oh, I got it, sir.
Good. How about a little spot of tea, Lieutenant? It's about that time.
Oh, thank you, sir. That won't hit the mark.
Yes.
I say, rather clumsy of me, what?
No, that's quite all right, Lieutenant. I mean, it was a silly place to leave the tea cart right in the middle of the room. In plain sight.
My service record, sir, and I'd best go and fetch my gear before I cause any more trouble.
No trouble? No, Lieutenant. No
Thanks.
trouble at all. No, that's my best china. What kind of a dumbbell did they send me? Why, he's a bigger klutz than Ensign Parker. What does the service record look like?
It's right here, sir.
Heaven's sakes, that's the most unnerving thing that's ever... Well, he's certainly been on a lot of bases. Well, no wonder. He's practically a one-man demolition squad. He's practically destroyed every base he's been on.
Oh, no, sir, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. It says right here, he's a hero. He was personally responsible for the sinking of 3 boats, sir, a hero.
You pinhead, the 3 boats that he sunk were 3 boats that he was assigned to.
Better get rid of him before he sinks one of ours, sir.
Darn right. I'm going to call Comfleet. Wait a minute, Carpenter. Wait a minute. That man wasn't sent from England. He came direct from heaven.
Ready for assignment, sir.
your priceless ship's clock and...
Oh, well, I'm dreadfully sorry, sir.
Yeah, well, fish touch, Lieutenant, fish touch. I mean, priceless ship's clocks are a dime a dozen, but men like you, you're worth your weight in gold, boy.
Captain, sir,
I think nothing of it. You come from such a long line of distinguished naval officers that you probably just don't have your land legs. I'm sure you'll feel right at home again just as soon as you're back on a boat.
You mean you're going to put me on sea duty, sir?
Oh, yes, my boy, yes. As of now, you can consider yourself assigned to the PT-73.
Oh, thank you, sir. And don't worry about me, sir. I won't let you down. I'll give it a good bash.
Yes, you do that. In fact, I'm counting on it. Oh, my.
But, sir, I thought you said you didn't want him associating with uncultured rowdies like us.
Yes, well, on second thought, McHale, I thought that perhaps some of Clivedon's outstanding qualities might have an effect on you, a permanent effect.
Sir, Lieutenant Clivedon is stowing his gear in his hut.
Oh, good. Now, McHale, for your information, Lieutenant Clivedon is personally responsible for the sinking of 3 boats. Now, I would like to see you make that 4. You read me?
Loud and clear, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's shove off for the main base, all right?
Yes, bye-bye, Captain.
Goodbye, McHale, goodbye. All right, cast off that line.
Oh, sure, I'll get that.
Cast off! I'll kill you one of these days. I swear I'll kill you. Oh, what's the use? Let Clivedon take care of it.
Get it, Skip.
How come we're stuck with a crumpet snatcher?
Who needs it?
Yeah, I don't know. We're doing all right.
Oh, boy. I thought all the lead, but I'm never leave.
Hey, Fooch, you better head for the hills, boy. We got a British officer over here on temporary duty.
Oh, so? Since when Limey is more important than hard-working PW?
Move. Come on. Don't argue. Will you get out of here?
Poor Fooge, what a rough deal.
Who needs this British creep?
Yeah.
Never mind. This guy happens to be the first cousin of Admiral Clivedon Summers, so mind your manners, will you?
Yeah, not only that, but he sunk 3 boats, single-handed.
He should be a big help during business hours, so...
Oh, yeah.
Take it easy.
Man, he must be a big... Sub-Lieutenant Cedric Clivedon reporting for duty, sir.
Hi. Glad to have you aboard. Mr. Parker here will show you around the boat before we go out and patrol.
Oh, jolly good.
Right, Skip. Follow me this way, Cedric, old talk. We'll have a turn around the ruddy deck. Yes. I think you'll find that she's a ripping yawl, crashing crew, all that sort of rot.
Hey, Joe Ensign, the way you talk. Have you ever lived in England?
England? Oh, no. But I saw a Yank at Oxford 11 times. I think you'll find that this is the gangplank, or as you say in England, the mob timber.
Mob timber. Don't believe I ever heard it called that before.
You never have, huh? Oh, well, you stick with me and you'll pick up on all this British slang. Well, after you.
Yes.
Here. Careful now, because once... You gotta be careful.
Hey, rather clumsy of me, old chap.
Yes. Well, don't worry, old-timer. Couldn't have done it without me, you know. Here. Can we have another go at it?
All right, jolly chap.
Will you look at those two?
Boy, and I thought Vaudeville was dead.
That guy makes Mr. Parker look like Fred Astaire.
Oh, well, yeah.
Huh? Yeah, all right. Look, why don't you let me go first, huh?
Yes.
Just follow me.
Jolly good.
Right.
Hey, enemy plane coming in at 3 o'clock. All right, come on, boys. Let's go. Move it. All right, open up. All right, come on, open fire. Let's go.
Where would you like to place me, sir?
Clivedon, on this boat, we fight buffet style. Grab a gun, start shooting.
Hold it, Cedric. He's up there. 3 o'clock. Strikes on Big Ben.
Hey, we're friends. All right, Clivedon, what do you got to say for yourself?
Now, don't be too rough on him, Skip. After all, you're talking to a man who sunk 3 nip boats.
Nip boats? Good Lord, no. The 3 boats I sunk were the ones I was assigned to.
You mean boats on our side?
Cedric, I'm beginning to worry about you.
Offered me one last chance as a favor to my cousin Clive. Well, I suppose that jolly well ruins my Navy career, what? That's all lead bottom for you.
Yeah, he tried to sink us.
We ought to tell him off.
Wait a minute. Nobody's going to tell anybody what happened here.
What? You mean you won't send it back in front of the house?
Be right back, Skip.
Wait for me. Hey, Skip, if you flipped, Mr. Parker's bad enough. With this British bazooka aboard, we're lucky we lived through tea time.
Well, that poor guy was only trying to help out. Maybe we put him in a nice, safe place. We could shape him up.
How about London? That's a nice, safe place.
Here, let me help you out.
Easy does it, Lieutenant. Now, look, we need a top man to kind of stay behind here and guard our island against enemy infiltration. It's a vital job, Cedric, so what do you say, huh?
Oh, thank you, sir. I won't let you down, I promise. Oh, you've made me so happy, sir.
I say, old boy, don't move.
Oi, Vic!
Sorry, old chap. Don't speak Japanese. Now, don't move. I've got you covered, you see. According to the International Conventions of War, I hereby declare that... You are my prisoner.
Sir, Captain Bingham.
Don't just stand there panting. Quick, any news of the 73?
Well, sir, Lieutenant Clivedon is here. And he was...
Clivedon? Well, he's back so soon. I hope. Send him in.
Yes, sir. Well, what I wanted to tell you, sir, is...
Move.
Yes, sir. Oh, Lieutenant, please.
Captain Binghamton, sir.
What, Clivedon? Well, you look awful, boy. It must have been terrible. Hey, tell me, where did the boat go down?
The boat, sir?
Oh, don't feel badly about sinking the 73. I mean, after all, this is wartime. You got to expect this.
Oh, but, sir, I didn't sink the 73. I didn't even go out on patrol.
You didn't?
You see, while I was capturing this nip...
Oh, look, Bumbling. What's the matter with you? Did you say capturing a nip?
Well, yes, sir. You see, sir, that's what I was trying to tell you. Bring in the prisoners.
Well, this isn't a... Would you look at this sniveling little rat quaking in his boots? Yeah! Oh, would you? Look at that. He tried to strike an American. Oh, there's nothing they won't stoop to. Keep your eye on him, Elroy. It's dangerous. Oh, this is brilliant, Clive. This is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, sir.
I would. It was brilliant of me to assign you to McHale's Island. Elroy, prepare a message for Confleet, telling them of my courageous capture of this ferocious nip.
Oh, but, sir...
don't forget to mention Lieutenant Clivedon's name.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Clivedon, there's one thing you'll find out about me. I never hog the spotlight. I'm sure your cousin, the admiral, will be very happy to hear how you helped me.
Oh, I certainly hope so, sir. And I can't wait to see Commander McHale's face when I tell him the good news.
Tell me you didn't, Clivedon. Please, tell me you didn't.
Terribly sorry, sir, but nobody told me. I mean, how was I to know Fuji was one of your group? Oh, dear. Fouled it up again, haven't I, chaps?
That's not your fault, Cedric. Those Japanese dog tags could have fooled anybody.
That's okay. You were just doing your duty.
How are we going to get Fuji back before old Leadbottom turns him into sukiyaki?
Hold on. I've got a ripping idea. Suppose I contact my cousin, Admiral Clivedon Summers, and tell him what happened, and have him explain to the captain what a dear friend Fuji is to all of us.
Hey, you know, he may have something there.
Yeah. A firing squad and 7 blindfolds.
No, wait a minute. Hey, it might just work. Admiral Clivedon Summers. It might just work.
I don't get it.
Well, you will, old chap, you will. Gather round, boys. Now, look, here's what we're gonna do.
All right, now you better talk. You talk. You don't scare me. I know you're kind. Come on. Don't move. I'll shoot. Hey, oh, thank you very much.
Hey, easy does it, sir. I found out that you captured a nip on our island, sir, and... It's true. He sure looks tough, sir.
Tough, McHale. Why, he's a killer.
No. Captain Binghamton. Sir, there's someone here to see you.
Well, get rid of him. Can't you see I'm busy?
But, sir, it's Admiral Clivedon Summers of His Majesty's fleet, sir.
Admiral who?
Clivedon Summers, sir. I'll send him right in.
Yeah, that's what I came over to tell you about, sir. You see, Lieutenant Clivedon sent a message to the Admiral telling him all about the nip he captured.
Oh, he did he?
10, hut!
Admiral, Captain Binghamton at your service, sir. So nice to have you here.
No time for your rowdy speeches now. Cedric had telegrammed me that he had captured a nip.
Oh, yes, he did, Admiral. That's true. I mean, we did, Admiral. We did. There he is. Now, be careful. He's a sneaky little devil, and he's a killer, Admiral.
Fine, slithering idiot. I'll take over here. Now, let's have a look. Yes, I don't believe it. Percy.
Yes, you see that, Admiral? Percy.
Admiral, did you just call this nip Percy?
Shh. It's only his code name. His real name... is British Secret Agent XJ2.
XJ what? XJ...
Did you hear me say shh? I just said shh to him. Quiet. Even his fellow intelligence officers don't know his real name. Why, he's the Mata Hari of the South Pacific.
Oh, Admiral, Amanda Hari was a woman.
She is, yes. Well, she was. Well, yes, of course, we all know that. We know that. But that's part of the secret, don't you see? He's marvelous at disguises. Simply marvelous.
Hurry ho, old bean. Hip, hip.
Oh! British, all right.
Oh, now, wait a minute. What is it with this Pip? He's a nip. I know it says made in Japan on him someplace.
Don't touch it. No. That's part of the secret. Why, he's as British as Irish linen. Yes, one who is paid to well, yes. Made a fortune in used tea bags. Right, old dog?
Oh, rather.
Admiral, sir, are you suggesting that Captain Binghamton has captured one of your top intelligence agents?
You jolly well know I am. Why, this is treason. I'll have you hung. Yes, from the highest chutney.
Yeah. Good, sure.
Admiral.
Sorry, Captain. This is war.
Oh, McHale, you gotta do something to save your poor old commander.
Oh, now what can I do? You run around telling everybody you captured, well, you know who, and well, you've ruined our allies' #1 spy.
Oh, no. I haven't told a soul.
Oh, you scoundrel. You told the whole world. You did. He told them. I heard it.
Oh, don't you believe me? Nobody knows but us.
Not even Comfleet?
Oh, no. This is the message that I was going to send Comfleet. There, look at that. Look, I've made it all gone.
Hey, that is ripping.
Yes.
Ripping. Hey, I get off a good one now and again, don't I? Destroy the evidence.
Oh.
What do you think, sir? Since no one else knows, we can sneak Percy back behind the nip lines and nobody can be any the wiser.
You may have something there. Pay attention. Say, Percy, bashed you about a bit, haven't they? Lost your monocle. Lucky I have another one.
Ripping, blooming, rowdy. Old admiral's son.
Admiral's son. He's been away so long, yes. We'd best be on our way, Admiral. Come along, Percy.
Right-ho. I say, old bean, which way to Mandalay?
Oh, it's, Of course, you understand, Admiral, this whole thing has been a dreadful mistake.
Well, we've better be shoving off now, Captain. You better get below there, XJ2.
Shh. No names, please. I, Percy, you know?
Yes, sir.
Don't you forget. Slip the lip and I'll have you hauled through Trafalgar Square by your scuppers.
Don't worry about the captain. He'll be quiet.
Yes, I don't know. You can't trust these ruddy colonials, you know. Look at Benedict Arnold.
Oh, no, Admiral, believe me, I wouldn't say anything for all the tea in China.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The Boston Tea Party. Ow!
Good grief.
It's my cousin, Admiral Clivedon Summers.
Hi-ho, and sayonara.
Well, we better be shoving off now, sir. Bye-bye.
Frightfully good idea.
Yes.
Just a minute, gentlemen. Could you tell me where I can find Captain Binghamton?
I'm Captain Bingham, sir.
Oh, good. I'm Admiral Clivedon Summers, and I was hoping that you might find... Oh, hello, Cedric.
Now, wait a minute. You can't be Admiral Clivedon Summers. He's Admiral Clivedon Summers.
Yes. Well, tally-ho, pip-pip, and all that rot.
Yeah, well, excuse us, Admiral. We'll be shoving off now.
What the deuce is going on here?
Harry! Hey, Harry, come! It's at 10 o'clock!
By Jove, it's Sneaky Samuel.
Harry, Charlie, better hit the shoulder. All right, come on, man those guns fight. We're sitting ducks here.
May I be of help?
Yes, just stay out of the way. We got all the trouble we can handle now.
All right, let him have it, chaps. I mean, guys.
Torpedo! Yeah, there I go again.
Boy, look at that thing go.
That torpedo's headed right for the ammo dump. Mind your guns. Come on, boys. Get that nip before he gets us.
Cedric, you got it. A direct hit on the ammo dump.
The shrapnel knocked that varmint out of the sky.
Lieutenant got him.
I did. Shut.
Well, I must say that was the most unusual way of downing a nip zero that I've ever seen.
Yes, sir. It sure was, sir. Yes, sir. And the lieutenant gets all the credit, sir. He thought up the whole maneuver.
Yes, why, as a fighting man, Cedric is simply top drawer, yes.
Admiral, it's time we got to the bottom of this and find out just who this fake Admiral is. I mean, now. After all, there can't be two of you with the same name.
Admiral, sir, I can explain.
No explanation is necessary, Cedric. I've always wanted to meet the other Admiral in the family. Very nice indeed to meet you, Reggie.
Oh, yes. Yes, why, a jolly by Jove to you. Yes.
But...
Will you stop yammering, Binghamton? You ought to be back in your office writing up commendations for every one of these brave lads.
Captain, did you hear the Admiral?
Yes. Why, what are you doing lollygagging around here, you clod? Why, sally forth on the quadruple, yes.
Bye-bye.
Move forth.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Slow man. Remind me to put that bounder on report, right? He's the only rotten egg in the whole blooming wicked.
Oh, you can drop that dreadful accent now, young man. The captain's gone.
Yes. Yeah. Well, now, I see. I think I'm in big trouble.
But hang on. Admiral, I don't know how we'll ever be able to thank you for getting us off the hook, but we sure are grateful, sir.
Not half as grateful as I am. After all, getting you out of a bit of a jam was the very least I could do. After all, you've made a man out of Cedric. And for that, you have my thanks. And as for you, Cedric, I think it's about time that we moved you to a new assignment.
Oh, wonderful, sir. Is it a destroyer? Or perhaps a carrier?
No, something a little smaller. A desk.
Oh, well, at least I came up to scratch once in my life. Thanks to you, Commander McHale. And you, Mr. Parker.
I'll save you, Cedric.
That's my cousin Cedric.
Yes, sir. And that's my Ensign Parker.
Listen. Oh, dear Commander McHale, I thought you chaps would be happy to know I've been promoted twice already. I'm now in charge of testing new naval equipment.
Oh, come on, Skip. That's not the same Cedric we knew.
No, wait a minute. They leave me alone with all new equipment for 24 hours. If it still works after that, it goes right into combat.
That's our Cedric.
Cheerio for now and tell all the lads to have a beer on me. As ever, Clivedon.
How you talking, old sock, huh?
I'm for that with the beer arena.
Yeah. Hey, folks, front center.
The name is HJ2, chaps. Pip Pip and other sort of rot.
Okay, guys, gather around. New duty roster's in. Away out. Hey, isn't that going to be kind of confusing? Lieutenant Parker and Ensign Parker in the same outfit?
Don't you get it, Mr. Parker? This is for you.
Today's the day the promotion list comes out.
You're assist to get your silver bar.
Hey, you guys think I'm finally going to make it?
You can't miss. Right now, you're the world's oldest living ensign.
Parker-san, I finished your cake. How you like?
Hey, congratulations, Lieutenant Parker. Boy, that's great. It should say Lieutenant J.G. That's junior grade. Here, I'll fix it.
You sure you can handle it?
Are you kidding? I'm the best weapons man in the outfit. Be careful.
Hold it. What's going on here?
Oh, well, sorry, Skip. My finger froze on the trigger.
Did you get the news, Skip?
Yeah, Mr. Parker finally made lieutenant, didn't he?
Get out the cake knife, Fuji. It's party time.
Wait a minute. Chuck, I'm afraid you got the wrong lettering on that cake.
Yeah, no, it should be Lieutenant J.G. I was just working on it.
No, it should be ensign.
Ensign? Hey, did you guys hear that? I made ensign. I am an ensign.
Chuck, I'm afraid Binghamton gave you the zinger again.
Oh, that's no good.
Wait a minute. All right, agreed, he got a raw deal, but the main thing is, Chuck, don't let it get you down.
Well, don't worry, Skip. I'll be the same guy I've always been. On my toes, efficient, alert. Real Navy.
Making lieutenant really got him down.
Say, Mr. Parker, I just heard a great joke. How do you get 4 elephants into a Jeep?
I give up.
2 in the front and 2 in the back.
Hey, Mr. Parker, don't you have an Uncle Joe?
I give up.
No. It says right here the new head of Naval Affairs Committee is a Senator Joseph Parker.
No kidding.
Hey, if your uncle's a senator, you're a cinch to get promoted.
Why didn't you tell us?
That's not my Uncle Joe.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. My Uncle Joe's a plumber back in Chagrin Falls. The only way he'd get in the Senate is if it sprung a leak.
Wait a minute.
What's the bit, Grove?
It's a punching dummy. It's the image of him.
It's a little business item Fuji and I whipped up. Clobber the Captain Incorporated. Get a $1/2 a sock, we'll make a fortune.
Hey, Groove, that's beautiful.
Hey, let me try it.
Stand back. Mr. Parker gets first crack.
On the house. That's why we rushed it through, to perk him up.
That's a great idea. Hey, let's get him over here. Hey, Mr. Parker, come here.
Now what? Oh, look, you guys. How many times do I have to tell you that it's no use to... Oh, afternoon, sir. Binghamton! Fuji, you better get out of here.
At ease, Mr. Parker. Here, look.
Grover, what are you doing? Oh, look, sir, you gotta forget... Hey, gosh.
Take a shot at him, Mr. Parker.
It'll relieve your frustrations.
Clobber, go ahead, Mr. Parker.
Boy, I'd sure like to, Gru, but you sure you can't get court-martialed for striking a superior dummy?
Go out, be my guest.
Well, all right. Take that, sir. Hey, boy. And that. Hey, and that. Hey, boy, this is great. I'm going to get my boxing gloves.
Lester, you are a genius.
Boy, it sure cheered him up.
Hey, listen, let's call the skip over and let him have a whack at him, huh?
Oi, vey! Little Binghamton's coming!
Quick, guys, let's stash him. Get rid of him fast.
Hi, Captain Binghamton. Now, what are you doing here, sir?
Just a little surprise inspection, McHale. Make sure you haven't sold everything to the nips. Look at that. McHale, how dare you ask me to promote that punch-drunk dodo?
Hi, Skip. Okay, stupid, this is for nothing. Leave him alone, Skip. He'll bounce back.
Hey, Slug. Chuck, what have you done?
Oh, boy, unless Gruber's punching bag can talk, I made a boo-boo.
Just point me out of the club. Hey.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, sir. I thought you were a dummy.
A dummy? No, I'm McHale, sir. I'm McHale. Calm down, sir. Calm down. He's just shook up about his promotion.
Where are my glasses?
Glasses.
Over here, sir.
Oh, here.
Get the glasses. Where did everybody go? Where are the glasses?
Here they are, sir. Here they are.
Those aren't glasses.
No. They look a little broken, sir.
I feel a little broken,
Yes.
too, okay?
But if I remember correctly, sir, you do have another pair, don't you?
That's in my drawer, in my desk, with my manual on criminal procedure. Now, you speak out, Parker. I know you're here somewhere. There you are. All right, you're under arrest. I'm taking you in. Don't make it happen.
Clobber the captain. Ought to clobber you!
If only the real dummy hadn't shown up.
Knock it off! Of all the... Oh, what's the use? I'm going to go over and try to talk Binghamton into letting Chuck out of the brig.
Poor Mr. Parker.
Maybe the skip will spring him.
Are you kidding? With Binghamton as mad as he is, even the White House couldn't get him off the hook.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Maybe not the White House, but what about the Senate?
What are you driving at, Grube?
Well, suppose nephew Charles gets a little letter from his Uncle Joe. Senator Joseph Parker of the Naval Affairs Committee.
And Binghamton gets to read it.
Mr. Parker would be out in a minute.
Sure thing.
Let's start writing.
But the skipper just
He'll
said...
never know. Let's go.
Come on, move.
Geneva Convention say no.
Come on, Gruber, let's take that letter from the senator and show it to Captain Binghamton before it's too late.
Absolutely not, Tinker. Captain Binghamton is never to find out that Mr. Parker's uncle is Senator Joseph Parker, head of the Naval Affairs Committee.
Tink, Mr. Parker made us promise never to tell. He wants to make it on his own.
Oh. You there.
Why, Lieutenant Carpenter.
What is this that I just heard about Ensign Parker's uncle being a United States Senator?
Mr. Parker's uncle, a senator? Why, that's ridiculous, sir. He's just an ordinary plumber. Honest.
Let me see that letter.
Letter, sir? What letter?
That one.
Move the letter!
Stop that! To Ensign Charles Parker, from the Senate of the United States, the office of the Honorable Joseph Parker. Plumber, huh? Some plumber. Wait till the captain sees this, huh?
I tried everything. Everything. But that Binghamton just would not call off the court-martial. The question now is, how will you plead?
Well, how about on my knees?
Now, will you? Now, look. Captain Binghamton.
Quentin. Hello, Chucky. Sailor, unlock the cell.
Unlock the cell? You mean you're letting Ensign Parker out?
No, I'm letting Lieutenant Parker out. Hello, Chucky. Brought you your new silver bars.
Gee, I didn't know he got promoted before he got court-martialed.
Who's getting court-martialed? Who?
But you said he was, sir.
Oh, that's just hazing a new lieutenant. You know how I love a good joke, Lieutenant. Love it, love it, love it. Now, let's get out of this terrible place. Well, I have to be running along now. By the way, Chucky, here's a letter that came from your Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe? Well, how did you? I mean,
Oh, now, don't worry, Chucky. I'll keep it a secret about your uncle's job.
Well, you don't have to keep it a secret, sir. He even advertised in the Yellow Pages.
I knew you'd make it, Mr. Parker.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, Mr. Parker. You'll make a fine lieutenant.
Something screwy going on here.
Huh? Oh, no, Skip. They pin on.
Oh, no. I don't believe it.
Huh? Well, no, look, right here's the pin.
Come over here, you guys. You meatballs have done some dumb things in your day, but this takes all the marbles. Forging a letter from a senator.
Well, wait a minute, Skip. That's not from a senator. That's from my Uncle Joe. Didn't you hear, Binghamton?
That's what these apes wanted him to think. Chuck, the only reason Leadbottom promoted you is because he thinks that Senator Joseph Parker of the Naval Affairs Committee is your uncle.
But he... Look, Skip, what's so terrible? It got Mr. Parker off the hook.
It even got him his promotion.
Sure, and Binghamton will never find out.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Lieutenant! Chucky! I got some wonderful news. Chucky, it's wonderful news. I just got this message from your uncle, Senator Parker. He's making a tour of all the bases in the South Pacific, and he's coming here to Taratupa today to refuel.
What? Senator Parker's coming here?
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? Is that amazing news, boy? Just think of it. You and I today, we're going to be down at that airstrip at 1600 hours saying hello to your uncle. Now, Chucky, you go and get dressed, and while you're putting on your new bars, you think of some wonderful things to tell your uncle. About me.
When that senator gets here, we're goners.
You know, why does everything have to happen to us so fast? Why this can't
That's all my fault. I should have never forged that stupid letter.
That's all my fault for hitting the captain and breaking his glasses. I should have known he wasn't a dummy.
Sure should have known he wasn't a dummy.
Hey, hold it. Hold it. Chucky, you just cued me onto something. It's a long shot, but it could work.
It better be good, Skip, or Binghamton will see right through it.
Yeah, well, if Chuck and I have any luck, Binghamton won't be able to see through anything. Gather round, you guys.
What do you want barging in here when I'm giving my speech to the... Chucky, boy.
They were just reporting his orders, sir.
Yes. Well, come in, boys, come in. So I'm sorry that I snapped at you like that, but I'm a little shook up about meeting your uncle. You know, I never met a senator before.
Me neither.
What Lieutenant Parker meant, sir, was that, well, when he left the States, his Uncle Joseph was still in the house.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, he was out in the backyard, fixing a cesspool.
Fixing it. Cesspool. That's a riot, isn't it, sir? Sir, why don't we get down to the airstrip?
What's the rush? I mean, Carpenter's down here. He's taking care of everything. The honor guard, the band, the works, and my Jeep isn't here yet.
Well, sir, I had an idea that with the airstrip so close to the water, why don't we all go down on the 73?
Yeah, Uncle Joe's wild about boat rides.
Oh, yes? Oh, well, dear man. If that's what he likes, that's what we'll do. Fixing a cesspool. Let's get ready to go, boys, huh? How do I look, Chucky?
Oh, just fine, sir, except for the hat.
The hat? What's the hat?
Well, you see, Uncle Joe's a middle-of-the-road man, and he doesn't like anything that leans to the left or right. Here, let me fix it for you, sir.
Oh,
my glasses. Where are my glasses?
Right over here, sir. Right over here, sir. Right underneath your left foot, sir.
Oh, no, hell.
Oh, watch the broken glass, sir.
That's my last pair of glasses. Parker, you little bird brain, you klutz.
Oh, well, no, sir. It was just an accident, sir. But besides, we don't want to keep the senator waiting, sir.
Senator waiting. That's right, McHale. What's the little pair of glasses between a friendship like Chucky boys, huh?
Here, sir.
Well, yes, that's it. I see you, boys. I see you. Well, let's go. We don't want to keep the senator waiting, do we? No. Who needs glasses anyway? Yes, come on, boys. Here we go. Everybody go. Easy, that's enough. Easy now. You're moving everything. Yes,
Come right this way, Captain. I know you can see fine. Easy does it.
Get that man's name.
Yes, thank you. What's his difference? No, that's nothing, sir. He just came off the boat. Everything's in fine shape, yes, sir. Here we are, sir, right at the airstrip.
You don't have to tell me, McHale. This airstrip's my pride and joy.
Boy, sure, it's a beautiful sight, sir. I can remember when this place was nothing but jungle.
Oh, yes. Darn, I wish I had my glasses. I love to look at the airstrip, you know.
Yes, sir.
Everything ready for the senator's arrival?
Oh, yes, sir. As a matter of fact, here comes the color guard now.
Company, halt! Face! Stand, arm!
The guard ready for your inspection, sir.
I know it, McHale. I'm not completely blind, you know.
You're not, sir?
No, of course not. Square that hat, sailor.
Square hat.
Oh, good. Yes, clean. The guns are all clean. There's quite a few of them out here.
Oh, yes, sir?
Oh, I tell you, these men are the cream of the Taratupa fighting.
Yes.
Got everybody out today.
Oh, yes, a long item, sir.
Why can't you have your men look like this?
Well, I'll certainly give it a try, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh, I hear a plane, sir. Yes, a plane. Yes, it's the senator's plane, all right, sir.
He's coming in for a landing.
Hi, Senator. Hi.
Look at that, sir. Perfect landing.
He's taxiing toward us now. That's it. Watch that wingtip, sir. Stand back.
My word, that was close. Yeah, we must be standing right on the runway.
Oh,
Stand back, Chucky. I don't want you to get hurt before you have a chance to tell the senator about the promotion.
Yeah. The band here it comes, sir. And they're marching better than ever.
Oh, isn't that amazing? Our little band never sounded better.
Yes, sir, they sure do it. And they're marching far better than the honor guard, sir.
Oh, don't tell me. Carpenter put on quite a show here, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
By the way, where's Carpenter?
Oh, he's not here, sir. He's probably down at the airstrip.
Oh, the airstrip.
Hi, Mr. Parker means down at the other end of the airstrip, sir, with the refueling crew. Oh, here comes Senator Parker now, sir. Right this way. Now, right this way, Senator Parker. Right this way. Announcing the Right Honorable Senator Joseph Parker.
It's indeed.
Greetings, my fellow Americans, and special felicitations to you, nephew Charles.
Nice to see you again, Uncle Joe. How's Aunt Julia?
It's indeed an honor, Senator.
Julia's fine, boy. Fit as a boll weevil at chitlin time. Sorry she couldn't send you a missive of home-cooked hush puppies.
Oh, well, that's all right. We're not allowed to keep pets here anyway.
You're not allowed to keep pets. That's a good one, isn't it, Captain?
Oh, good one, yes. A regular knee slapper. Right, Chucky boy?
Who in the name of Rhett Butler is this laughing hyena?
Excuse me, Senator, but this is Captain Binghamton, our base commander.
Captain Binghamton, eh? Well, my nephew wrote me about you. Said you were kind of a pushy sort.
No. What he meant is that I pushed him up from ensign to lieutenant, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, the way you can twist a simple statement around, boy, you ought to be in politics.
And now, Senator...
It's Chucky boy.
Who?
Chucky boy.
Oh.
Are you sure that man hasn't had too many mint juleps?
Senator, your plane is waiting. There's a pilot signaling. Here we go.
Well, just a cut and pick a minute there, Commander. Why, I'd be a possum out of water if I didn't hear that fine band of yours play at least one call to Dixie.
But your plane, sir, is
There it is, McHale's. The senator wants to hear Dixie, then he's going to hear Dixie. Is the band still here?
Yes, sir, most of them.
God. Play Dixie!
Stand up straight, boy. Take off your hat. That ain't no hoedown they're playing.
Well, I can't understand it, Senator. Captain Binghamton should have been here half an hour ago.
Lieutenant, this is an outrage. I have never seen such gross incompetence in all my livelong days.
Your plane is refueled and ready for takeoff, Senator.
Well, now, that's the best news I had all day. We'll take off immediately.
Oh, but Senator, aren't you going to wait for Captain Binghamton?
We do need the base commander's clearance for takeoff, sir.
Oh, that's right. He's absolutely right, sir. All departing flights must be cleared by the CO. That's a Navy regulation, sir. And we are Navy, sir. Navy.
Unhand me, sir. Unhand me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can tell the captain I'm going to do all my waiting at Calm Fleet while Admiral Nimitz is typing up his court-martial papers. Forget the clearance and let's go.
Thank you, sir. I haven't been so happy since I was knee-high to a filibuster.
Knee-high to a filibuster. You got off another good one, Senator. Goodness, Senator. Now, come on, Senator.
Sir,
yes.
It's Chucky boy.
Oh, Chucky, yes.
Unidentified aircraft at 1 o'clock.
I didn't give any plane permission to fly over here. It must be a nip. I heard the senator was here.
Oh, Nip! Hey, hit the deck, air raid!
Wait a minute, Chuck! Wait a minute! Easy does it, sir, easy!
Take it easy, will you, Captain?
I beg your pardon, sir, but you're crushing my seersucker suit.
Don't anybody panic! Try to shoot a U.S. senator, will you?
Chuck, cease fire!
I got him!
Chuck, you just downed an American plane.
Yeah, I know, boy. You see the way he can. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Boy, are we in trouble now?
Hey, Skip, what are we gonna do?
Leavenworth, here we come.
Never mind that. Willie, radio air rescue, tell them to pick up those guys if they go into the drink. On a double.
Would you stop all the... Wait a minute. What's this? There's something... Oh, wait a... What is... Oh, that's better. At least now I can see that... This isn't an airstrip. This is McHale's Island. Wait a minute. Grover! What are you doing in that ridiculous outfit? Grover, I'm talking to you. McHale! All right, what are you trying to pull on me now? Why?
No, easy does it, sir. Calm down. Remember your ulcers, sir.
Hey, Skip, here comes a parachute.
Holy jumping jack. That's Senator Parker.
You shot down a senator? Oh, but this whole thing is a hoax. I'll bet the senator isn't even your uncle.
Well, not by marriage.
Believe me, sir, we can explain.
Well, explain it to the executioner, because I want to have you court-martialed. And you're going to be first, Senator Gruber.
You can't strike me, sir. Congressional immunity.
Don't just stand there, you pirates. Go help the senator.
Aye, sir. Let's go.
Here, let me help you, Senator.
Captain Binghamton at your service, Senator.
Binghamton? Then you are the murdering fool who's responsible for shooting down my plane.
Oh, no. These are the murdering fools, Senator, and this is the trigger man.
Oh, and now, Senator, it's all been a terrible mistake, sir.
Mistake? Sir, it was a mistake to put you men in the uniform of our glorious country. Why, I could have you shot for this outrage.
Oh, Senator, you don't know the half of it.
I radioed air rescue, Skip. They'll be sending a boat out fast as you can say Stonewall Jackson.
Captain, I'm not leaving this base until I see each and every one of these men court-martialed. Do you hear? And I can promise you that when I get back to... Did you say Stonewall Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, pardon me, son, but you all sound like you come from my neck of the woods.
Yes, sir, Senator. I'm from your home state.
You are? Well, are you a voting age boy?
I will be by next election time.
And not only that, Senator, the whole family's of voting age, and that includes 9 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, well, he's got so many pictures in his wallet, he's got to carry it around like a knapsack.
Shut up, just shut up. Both of you, shut up. Senator, you were talking about court-martials.
Now, you must be twisting my words, Binghamton. I was talking about giving these men a citation.
Listen, but they shot your plane down.
Naturally. It took off without proper clearance and should have been shot down. Well, now, come on, son. We got a lot of visiting to do. Of course, you've heard about my new superhighway program, haven't you? I tell you, it's going to be one of the finest.
And now, Captain, about those citations.
Somebody up there hates me.
You're not feeling so good down here, either.
Where'd he go?
Take that. I'm there.
Hello, boy, Mr. Parker. I'll teach old lead bottom to break you to ensign.
Yeah, you old windbag, and that's for Mom. That's for Uncle Elton.
Condition red. Binghamton's coming.
Let's get out of here.
Let's go.
All right, you men. Now the senator's not here, Captain Binghamton, I had no idea. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm gonna kill those men. Get out of the way. Oh, no. My new glasses. Where are my new glasses? Hal, help me find my new glasses. That's an order. McHale's.
Wake up, Captain Binghamton. Sir, wake up, please.
Who's that? What is
It's me, sir.
How'd you burst in here like that? What's the... Can't you see I'm busy?
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but this is an urgent message. Sir, Admiral Go-Go Granger is flying in today at 1400 hours.
Admiral Go-Go Granger?
Yes,
the boy Admiral is coming here?
Isn't it exciting, sir? I understand the Admiral's always looking for virile young officers to move up in rank. Oh, sir, I hope I...
Oh, stop tripping, you knucklehead. If there's any man on this space who can impress Go-Go Granger with his youth and his energy, it's me. You understand that? Me.
You, sir? Oh, no offense, sir, but you have been very tired lately.
Tired? What tired? What tired? Why, I am just reaching the prime of my young manhood. Every youthful muscle in my body is just crying out for action. Ooh.
Sir, I think I'm going to run out and get a butch.
You're not going anywhere. You're going to stay right here and let your hair grow.
But short,
sit down there. You're going to take command of the space. I'm going out on maneuvers.
Maneuvers?
Yes.
You, sir?
Yes, me.
Oh, yes, you.
Where else would Go-Go Granger expect to find a rugged, young combat officer behind a desk? Ha! Here, you get me a boat and a crew, quickly.
But, sir, they're all out. That is, except the 73, sir.
Well, that's all the better. If Go-Go Granger finds me out with those pirates, he'll know I'm made of steel.
Oh, yes, sir, I'll get mine. Would you
No,
please
don't call. He's on his own island. That's a toll charge. You go over there.
I'll run, sir, run.
Go. Go-Go Granger, huh? Well, just wait till he gets a load of Binghamton. Oh, charge!
toss the mail aboard and let's get back to the island, Chuck.
Boy, you know I'm getting weaker. My mother sent me another fruitcake.
Hey, you there, McHale.
Holy mackerel. Take a look.
McHale!
Hey, hit the deck. It's a raid. I told you he said he was going to get us.
Good morning, sir. You going someplace?
Yes. We're going someplace, McHale. So I'm taking over the 73. We're going out on maneuvers.
Maneuvers?
You, sir? Oh, yes, the captain has a wonderful idea. When Go-Go Granger flies in at 1400 hours, Bing Binghamton...
Bing?
Bing? Bing Bing will be leading a combat group out on the...
All right, beat it. Go play with your staple machine.
Go Granger. So that's what this is all about. One question. Tell me, how come you picked my crew?
Because I'm stuck with you bunch of ding-dong bandits, that's why. It is all right, is it, if I take them away from their bootlegging?
Bootlegging, sir? Oh, no more, sir. Ever since you broke up their last still, that was it.
That's right, sir. I mean, you know how hard it is to get parts with the war on.
Well, it's a good thing, because if I catch them making any more hooch, I'll have them shot. Now, let's go. All right, McHale, where are your scurvy pirates? Where are they? Where?
Well, I don't know, Captain. They were polishing brass when I left, sir.
Maybe they ran out of clean rags.
Mm-hmm. There they are. Polishing brass, huh? They're up to something. I'll bet you 10 years in Leavenworth, huh?
Oh, no. I'm sure you're wrong, sir. Well, maybe they just took a break, sir. Hey, Chuck, why don't you help the captain store his gear on board?
All right, Skip. I better get aboard, sir. It's the only way to get a good seat.
Yeah. Good seat? I'll give you something for your seat.
All right, you apes, where you been? What kind of racket you got going this time?
Nothing, Skip. You know how us growing boys need our coconut milk.
Yeah. Particularly when it's 100 proof. You no good connivers are back in the booze business again, aren't you? Turn, hut!
All right, McHale, what's going on? Wow.
Nothing, Captain. The boys just out gathering coconuts, sir. Yes. All right, boys, put everything down. Captain's going to take us out on maneuvers.
The boys were just out gathering up coconuts? You gotta be kidding me, Cal. There's no easy money in coconuts.
Oh, no. Yes, you see, sir, we find that coconut oil is very good for machine guns, yes.
Greatest gun oil in the world, sir.
Yes.
Hey, boy, I'll be darned. Oh, boy, you better not use this one. It smells spoiled.
Let me have that. I smell a rat. In fact, I smell 7 rats.
Yes, sir. Don't you think we better be going, sir? Go Granger may be coming in very early, sir.
You're trying to hide from me. Go Granger isn't due here till 1,300 hours. Let's move out on the double.
Yes,
Hubba.
Come on, boys, on the double. Hubba. Come on, let's go. Come on, get out of here.
Oh, that oil's pretty strong. I think I'll have another one.
All right, rudder, 30 degrees. Ready, all stations. Prepare to assault the beach.
Assault the beach? Captain, look, we've been at this over an hour. Can't the men take a break?
Yes, the men can take a break. They can take a break right down to Seaman's Second if they don't look good assaulting that beach. We're gonna take Dead Man's Cove.
Dead Man's Cove?
Dead Man's Cove? Dead Man's Cove?
Dead Man's Cove.
What is there, an echo in here? What is that? What?
Sir, why Dead Man's Cove, sir? Well, why couldn't we land down by the...
No, I'll tell you why. Because this is on Go Granger's flight plan. And when he looks down, he's gonna see Binghamton toughening up those misfits of yours.
But sir, the Dead Man's Cove is full of rocks, sir, where we'll smash our bottom for sure.
Yeah, and you know how painful that is.
Pipe down, both of you. Full speed ahead. We're gonna take Dead Man's Cove.
And we're dead.
Follow me. Let's go. Bing.
Hey, Skip, you gotta stop and look.
He's heading straight for the still.
And it's loaded with booze. For the love of... Captain, wait a minute, Captain!
What's the matter, McHale? You got a little sand in your shoe?
Oh, no, sir. No. It's the booby traps, yes. Why, if this was the real McCoy, sir, well, we'd get murdered going straight in. Yes, what we got to do is to encircle the enemy. So if you'll come with me, sir, I know the trails.
Booby traps? You're the only booby around here, McHale. Now, nothing is going to stop Binghamton. Now, you follow me. Move out.
But Captain, it...
Oh, boy, we had it.
Well, rock pile, here we come.
Hey, Skip, unidentified aircraft.
Captain Bandit at 3 o'clock. Take care of you guys.
Oh, relax, McHale. It's no bandit. That's Go-Go Granger. Go-Go! Over here, it's Bing Bing. I'm out of maneuvers. Go-Go, it's Bing Bing.
You just waved it in nip zero. Quick, before he turns, boys, everybody back to the boat on the double. He's a sitting duck. Tinker, start the engines, give her all she's got, boy. Come on, boys, let's go, let's go.
Where'd everybody go? Come back here, you cowards. How dare you leave me alone?
Oh, you're not alone, sir.
What are you doing lying under your commanding officer?
Well, I hate to disturb you, sir, but could you get off? You're heating the water in my canteen.
Get your hands off of me. Run for your lives. Don't get close to me. Your gold bar might glitter. Keep your head down.
All clear, sir. All clear. All clear.
Wait a minute.
All clear.
Wait a minute. What's all clear? Nothing's all clear. I see spots and lines and dots.
Well, now, I'm afraid that's my fault, sir. You see, when we were zigzagging across the field, well, I zagged when I should have zigged. No, I zigged when I should have zagged. Remember when you zagged?
Stop with the nonsense with the zigging and the zagging. My head hurts. I feel awful. I can't go on.
Right. Oh, but you can't quit now, sir. What would Go-Go Granger say?
I don't care what Go-Go Granger says. Let him go promote somebody else. I'm pooped. I'm old and pooped. All I want is a drink of water.
Oh, the water's right over this way. Right over here.
Let go of the strap. I can find the water. Let go of the
Right this way.
I know where it is. Just let go of me, that's all.
Here, sir, take all the stuff off.
Take off your own stuff. I get my own face. I got a drink of water. I'm old and I'm pooped. Let me alone. Hey, that's good water. I realize how thirsty I was.
Wow, that's what I call water.
I feel better already.
And me too.
Sure hope old Leadbottom and Mr. Parker made out all right.
Boy, a fine time they picked to be left behind. Take care! All ahead, full! Doggone it. They could be hurt, or even worse.
Oh, boy, Chucky, this is terrific. I feel just like a young goat.
Hey, you want to crack heads again?
No. I never business during drinking hours.
No, wait a minute. You mean you never hour during business pleasure?
That's right. Let's have another bill of this water.
Yeah, well, here's mud in your eye.
Hurry up, you guys. They may be hurt.
Let's hope we're not too late, Skip.
There they are. Okay, that's enough. Dam it up.
All right. I'll dam it up.
Hey, Skip, that no good nip put the blast on our still. The booze is pouring into the stream.
Well, if old Leadbottom ever finds out what he's drinking, we're dead.
Yeah, you guys and your bright ideas.
Come on, let's get those two pie-eyed pixies out of there and fast.
Go, Captain. Be careful.
Here you go, Captain.
Good, Captain. Step easy, Captain.
What?
Let me help you, Captain.
Look who's here, if it isn't the ancient mariner. Quilly, how about a hooker of water?
Hi, Skippy. Webby, pull up a lily pad. We're buying.
Excuse me, Captain, but we better go back to the base. You look a little bush from fighting off that near plane.
Oh, no, not bush. I've never been so unbushed in my life. I feel like a teenager.
You tell him, Daddy-O. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah, we had a rough day, too, Chuck. Christy, here, show Mr. Parker back to the boat, will you?
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nobody leaves here till I find out why this water makes me feel so good. I feel like a kid again.
Me too. Would you burp me?
All right.
Courage, Skip. I just got a hot flash.
Huh?
Brace yourself, Captain. I think you've just stumbled over the fabulous fountain of Wacky Packy.
Fountain of Packy? Speak clearly.
Wacky Packy. Literally translated, the fountain of youth. You remember, Skip?
Oh, yes. Oh, that fountain. Oh, sure. That's a native sacred fountain. And that's what keeps them feeling so young, Captain.
Fountain of youth? Well, that explains it. That does explain it.
Would you burp me?
There's only one catch, Captain. The natives will kill us if they catch us belting their youth juice.
Would somebody burp me?
We better get going. Those natives will have our heads.
No, wait a minute. I'm not leaving here without taking this water with me. This is my water. You fill your canteens. I'll show those natives.
All right, you heard Wallace. Fill your canteens to get this fountain on the road.
That's right. Come on, everybody. Thanks, Stinky.
Right, Wally, old baby. We kids gotta stick together.
That's right.
Fill your canteens.
Come on,
Fill your canteens. All right, Captain.
Now, watch your step here, sir.
You watch your own step, McHale. A kid like me doesn't need any help. You're jiggling my canteen.
Captain Binghamton, sir. A message from Go-Go Granger. Because of the enemy aircraft in the area, he won't be coming to Taratupa, sir.
That's what you think, Elroy. When he finds out about my fountain of wicky-picky, he'll be here before you can say Admiral Bingham.
But Captain, I thought you weren't going to tell a soul, sir.
Skip, it's curtains if we don't get back and ace that still.
I'm way ahead of you, Virgil. Well, we'll be on our way now, Captain.
No. That's what you think, McHale. You're not going to take your bunch of bell-bottom bandits back and steal all my wicky-ticky juice. You're going to stay right here. You're going to be confined to the main base. Elroy.
Sir.
You put a detachment of Marines around McHale's Island. If anybody tries to get in or come out, you have them shot. That's SHOTT time.
Oh, sir, it'll be a pleasure. As soon as we get back, I'll send over a bunch of Marines on the double.
But, Captain, you can't do that, sir.
I can't, huh? I already did it, Quentin, old boy. Already did it. Come on, Elroy. We gotta go and contact Go-Go Granger. Did I ever tell you you're a fine officer, Elroy?
Thank you. Oh, you'll be all right, sir. Take it easy. You're all right, sir.
Elroy. Pushing me all around.
Sir, I'm trying to help.
Back to the office and get on the hotline of conflict. Keep it open. I gotta get through to Go-Go Granger.
Yes, sir. I'll let you know the minute I locate him, sir. Don't worry, sir.
Now I know what they mean when they say the natives are restless. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, I feel like 22.
Just conked out. He's out like a light. Skip, can't we sneak back up and take the still down while he's sleeping?
With those Marines surrounding our island, use your head, will you?
Well, we gotta do something.
We can't just stand around waiting to get clobbered.
Oh, hi, Mr. Parker.
Will you keep it down? My head's like a balloon.
Here's that, Mr. Parker.
Oh, boys. Some fountain of youth. I feel 160 years old.
Hey, Chuck, wait a minute. You said you felt like 160 years old, right?
Yeah. Oh, I could be wrong. You know how I am with birthdays.
You just gave me a brainstorm. Boy, if this works, old Leadbottom will be begging us to go back to our island. Come on, boys, let's go.
what happens if he comes out of it? Shh, quiet. Beautiful, Skip. Rembrandt couldn't have done better. You know something? I'm wasting my talent skipping a PT boot.
Hey, how about that instant grandfather?
I've seen old before, but that's old. That's why I could make a kick from the USO. Skip, here comes Carpenter. Quick, out the back door on the double, on the double. Come on, boys. Go on the double. Let's go, boys.
Oh, Captain. About Admiral Bridges, sir. You answer.
What is that? What is screaming? Who's screaming? What is with the screaming?
Sir,
if you scream at me like that again,
sir, what happened to you? Say you've got gray hair.
What gray hair?
There.
What are you babbling about?
Oh, sir, the beard. I can't understand. What happened to you?
You stop looking at me like you've seen a ghost. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, my hair, my beard. Oh, my God.
I look like I'm 80 years old.
Oh, yes, sir, 80. Oh, but a young 80, sir. Young, you think? Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness, I couldn't have been asleep this long. This is awful.
Sir, I just can't understand it. Why, this morning you were just oozing with youth.
Yes, well, I must have oozed too much. I need help right away.
Oh, I better go get a doctor.
No, wait a minute. My fountain of youth.
Easy.
I'll just take a... Oh, my, it's dry. Quick, go back to the office. There's some canteens in the office. Safe. Hurry up while I still have one foot out of the grave. No. Wally, what happened to you?
Captain Binghamton, we've got to get back to Ireland. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Gruber, we're too late.
No, you're not too late. I'm going to be fine. Just one little sip of my wacky packy.
Oh, but sir, that's it. That's the trouble. Well, we just got word from the witch doctor on a 6 o'clock drum. You've been drinking from the wrong fountain, sir.
That's right, sir. That wasn't the wacky-packy fountain you were drinking from.
Oh, it was the Kaki-Daki fountain, sir, the fountain of old age.
Kaki-Daki?
This stuff is murder. It lifts you up and then, boom, Social Security.
Oh, you ought to see what it did to poor Mr. Parker. Chuck!
Wally, I don't see so good anymore. Where are you, Wally?
Heavens, that's Mr. Parker. Why, he's older than I am.
Oh, you can say that again. I'm even older than my mother. Was that you, Wally?
Keep that old goat away from me. I'm too young to be old. May help me.
Yes, sir. Well, you just let us go back to our island, sir, and I think we can find that witch doctor and get him to cure you.
You do? Oh, well, then you go back to your island. There's not a minute to waste.
Yes, sir.
You tell him, Whitey.
Get him.
Yes, sir. Now, just relax. Easy does it.
Yeah, we did it. It worked.
We're off the hook. Great. Oh, a tin hut.
As you were, men.
Boy, they're sure making the admirals younger these days.
Yeah, how about that?
Hey, that's Go-Go Granger.
Hey, he's heading inside. We better warn the skipper in fact.
Now, you rest your weary bones, sir. We'll be right back in a jiffy.
Yeah, and hurry, Sonny. Oh, and bring a razor. You know, beards are against regulations.
Get in there quick. It's Go-Go Granger.
Hey, what the devil is going on here? You get that witch doctor on the double. Now, go, you numbskull.
Just who are you calling a numbskull?
I'll give you a hug. Go? I mean, Admiral Granger, sir?
You're Captain Binghamton?
Yes, I was. This morning, back in the good old days.
And I'm McHale's, sir, skipper of the PT-73.
Binghamton, what the devil are you made up for? You been drinking?
Drinking? Oh, no, Admiral. I've been out on maneuvers all morning. You see, go. And that's when I found the Fountain of Youth.
Fountain of Youth?
Yes, only it wasn't wacky-packy that I was drinking, Admiral. It was kaki-daki, you see. And instead of making me young, it made me old. Is that right, McHale?
Oh, anything you say, sir. Yes, anything you say. He's been working rather hard lately.
Now, wait a minute. What are you trying to pull here, McHale? It's all true, believe me, Admiral. I was not drinking wacky-packy, but I was drinking kaki-daki.
Will you belay that, Binghamton? I've had enough of your nonsense. Now, drinking on duty is bad enough. But when you start making fun of my youth program...
I'm telling you the truth, Admiral. Well, you see, Ensign Parker, he's over 90 if he's a day. All right, you old fossil, out of there. Out.
Oh, now, Admiral, I want you to meet my executive officer, Ensign Parker.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Parker, you traitor. What are you doing, young? You're an old man.
I don't know. Easy, Captain.
All right, Binghamton, I've had enough of your shenanigans. And take off that ridiculous makeup.
I'm young again. I'm young.
Well, I guess we'll be on our way, Admiral.
Not so fast, Commander. I'll need you two men as witnesses. This drunken impersonation has gone too far.
Oh, no, Admiral. I don't know anything about the makeup. I don't understand about that at all, but I know I never drink on duty hours, do I, McHale's?
Oh, that's right, Captain. That's right. No, he never drinks on
You
duty
better
hours,
take a big
Admiral.
swallow, sir. You must be dying for it, but you say. What happened?
It's liquor. Pure, unadulterated liquor.
That's liquor, all right.
I guess the cat's out of the bag, sir. I'll say it is. Binghamton, I want to talk to you in your office. Hello. Give me a hand here, Lieutenant.
So Admiral McHale's behind this plot. I'm as sober as a judge.
Yes, and I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yes, sir. Oh, that was the narrow escape of all time.
I don't care what Mother says. I'm gonna have a drink.
Not too much. You're a grown boy. Come on, boys. Keep working. The gunners just started up another batch.
Oh, please. All right. Keep them covered, Carpenter.
Yes, sir. Over there. Come on. Hey, it's Captain Binghamton.
No, it's Snow White. Come to take her 7 dwarfs off to Leavenworth. Get away from that still.
But, Captain, we were just refining a little machine gun oil, so we find it's better than Navy issue.
Machine gun oil. McHale, I almost lost my stripes because of you and your gang of bootleggers. Now I've got you. Evidence and all. Look at that. Machine gun oil, my Aunt Matilda. You tried to poison me. That's oil. How dare you lubricate your commanding officer?
I'm sorry, sir, but look at it this way, sir. At least you're good for another 10,000 miles.
Tides of Taratupa, a South Pacific Romance. Chapter I. The Humidity of Longing. The South Pacific sun was a relentless lover, pressing its heat against the emerald canopies of Taratupa Island until the very air seemed to shimmer with a feverish intensity. For Captain Wallace B. Asumajan, Binghamton, the heat was not a romantic embrace, but a suffocating weight. He stood in his office, the overhead fan churning the humid air with a rhythmic, metallic protest that mimicked the throbbing in his temples. "Garter belts, Carpenter," Binghamton bellowed, slamming a hand onto his desk. "The nurses are clamoring for garter belts. The Petty Officers Club has sinks backing up with the stench of 1,000 sins, and you stand there looking like a stunned mullet." Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, a man whose loyalty was only matched by his clumsiness, adjusted his cap nervously. "But, sir, the supply lines are choked. It's the war. What a war!" Binghamton cried, gazing out the window at the sparkling lagoon where the PT-73 boat sat like a defiant splinter in his eye. "Everything is on my shoulders. And now, Rafferty. Iron Pants Rafferty is coming for a sneak inspection. If he sees the state of this base, if he sees Macau's cutthroats running wild, my career will be as dead as a beached whale." In that moment of despair, a seed of deception was planted. Binghamton's stomach churned a mix of high acidity and low cunning. If he was sick, truly, dramatically incapacitated, he could appoint an acting commander to take the heat. And who better to face the wrath of an admiral than the rogue he hated most? "Carpenter," Binghamton whispered, his eyes gleaming with a sudden sickly light. "I feel a turn. A terrible, terminal turn. Call the medic. I am a very sick man." Chapter 2. The Commander and the Showgirl. While Binghamton practiced his theatrical moans in the base hospital, life on the PT-73 followed a different rhythm. Commander Quentin McHale was a man born of salt and moonlight, a leader who ruled not by the book, but by the unspoken laws of the sea and the deep affection of his men. Among those men was Lester Gruber, a man whose heart was currently 6,000 miles away, or so he thought, until the morning the service show unit arrived. The arrival of the troop was a splash of color against the drab olive of the Navy base. Among the dancers was Ginger, a woman with eyes like the midnight sea and a smile that could stop a torpedo in its tracks. To the rest of the world, Lester Gruber was a scrounger, a gambler, a man who could find a bottle of scotch in a desert. But, in his letters to Ginger, he had painted a different picture. To her, he was Commander Lester Gruber, a decorated war hero, a man of gravitas and gold braid. "Skip," Gruber whispered to McHale as they watched the girls disembark. "I'm a dead man. She's here. Ginger is here." McHale leaned against the railing of the 73, a cigar clamped between his teeth. "The showgirl from Brooklyn? The one you told you were the chief of naval operations?" "Just a lieutenant commander. Skip, I didn't want to be greedy." Gruber's face was pale. "If she sees me in these dungarees, she'll realize I'm just a two-bit swab from the Bronx. I'll lose her, Skip. And she's the only thing that makes this jungle feel like home." McHale looked at his friend. He saw the genuine ache in Gruber's eyes. In the middle of a global conflict, romance was a fragile thing, more precious than fuel or ammunition. "All right, Lester," McHale said, a slow grin spreading across his face. "For the next 5 minutes, the PT-73 has a new skipper. Get your gold braid ready. We're going to give her a show she'll never forget." Chapter 3. The Sultan's Ransom. The romance of the islands was further complicated by the arrival of the Sultan of Marami. He was an exiled royal of ancient lineage, traveling with his 3 daughters, princesses of such ethereal beauty that the sailors of Taratupa forgot how to breathe. The Sultan's plane had gone down near Samura, and it was McHale and the 73 crew who performed the rescue. As the Sultan stepped onto the deck of the PT boat, the air changed. It was no longer just a vessel of war. It became a floating palace. "You run a tight ship, Commander," the Sultan remarked, his dark eyes observing the way Ensign Parker tripped over a mooring line. "We try, Your Highness," McHale replied, bowing with a grace that surprised even himself. But the Sultan's visit was not merely diplomatic. It was a catalyst for chaos. Binghamton, desperate to impress the royal and the admiral simultaneously, threw a lavish dinner. It was a night of silk and shadows. The Sultan's daughters danced, their movements a hypnotic poetry that spoke of desert sands and spice-scented nights. However, beneath the elegance, a farce was unfolding. One of the princesses was an impostor, a desperate attempt by McHale's crew to cover for a missing royal who had snuck off for a forbidden swim with a certain sailor. When Binghamton, fueled by suspicion and a need to expose McHale, tried to unmask the dancer, he found himself clutching not a spy, but the very real, very angry daughter of a sovereign ruler. "Stupid infidel," the Sultan roared, his voice echoing through the banquet hall. "You dare touch the blood of Marami." The romance of the night turned into a diplomatic nightmare, leaving Binghamton in a state of hypertensive shock and McHale in the precarious position of having to mend the hearts of kings. Chapter 4. The Ghost of the PT-13. Fear is a powerful aphrodisiac, or so the poets say. A rumor began to circulate, whispered over tins of lukewarm beer. The PT-73 was jinxed. Records were discovered, conveniently planted by Binghamton, suggesting that the boat was actually the ill-fated PT-13, a vessel that had lost 2 crews to mysterious explosions and phantom fires. The crew, superstitious by nature, began to see ghosts in the rigging. The romance of the sea turned into a gothic horror. Even the brave McHale found it hard to maintain morale when the engines began to turn over by themselves in the dead of night, and white-clad figures were seen drifting through the jungle. "We're living on borrowed time, Skip," Ensign Parker whimpered, clutching a rabbit's foot. But McHale knew the ghosts wore Navy-issue boots. In a daring midnight counterstrike, the crew of the 73 decided to outghost the captain. They rigged the base with phosphorescent paint and hidden speakers, turning Binghamton's own fear against him. The climax came on a Friday the 13th, under a blood-red moon. Binghamton, convinced he was being haunted by the restless spirits of drowned sailors, fled his quarters in his pajamas, screaming for mercy. In the end, it was a battle of nerves, where love for their boat proved stronger than the fear of the unknown. They reclaimed their identity, turning the PT-13 back into the 73, and the lagoon was peaceful once more for a time. Chapter V. The Alligator's Testimony. Romance on Taratupa took a turn for the bizarre with the introduction of Sydney. Sydney was not a sailor, nor a spy, but a 6-foot alligator with a peculiar fondness for Ensign Parker's mother's peanut butter sandwiches. "He's got a smile like a cousin of mine," Parker said, patting the reptile's scaly head. But Sydney was more than a mascot. He was a silent witness to a crime. Binghamton, in a desperate bid to frame McHale's crew for theft, had used a marked $900 payroll as bait. He had accidentally dropped his wallet near the crew's luau, expecting them to pocket the cash. Instead, Sydney had found the wallet. The ensuing court-martial was the stuff of legend. Binghamton stood as the accuser, his voice dripping with venom as he demanded the heads of McHale and Parker. "They are thieves, pirates, scoundrels," Binghamton cried. But then, the doors of the courtroom swung open. "Your Honor," McHale said, his voice calm and steady. The defense calls its star witness. In a moment of surreal justice, Sydney disgorged the wallet untouched. The $900 still crisp and marked directly onto the judge's bench. It was a triumph of the absurd. The charges were dropped, and Binghamton was left to explain why he was planting wallets in the jungle. For Parker, the bond with Sydney was the only true romance he had ever known, a love built on peanut butter and scaly loyalty. Chapter 6. The Laughing Gas Heist. As the war progressed, the tension on the base reached a breaking point. Binghamton was determined to send Ensign Parker to a fitness board, a move that would effectively end the young man's career. "I'm a failure, Skip," Parker lamented, staring at his reflection in the lagoon. "I'm a klutz in a world of heroes." McHale couldn't let that happen. He saw the heart in Parker, the goodness that the Navy's rigid standards couldn't measure. They needed a miracle. They found it in the form of a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas purloined from the base dentist. The plan was simple. Dose Binghamton before the inspection. A happy captain would be a lenient captain. The scene that followed was a carnivalesque blur. The gas was released through the office vents, and suddenly, the stern, tyrannical Binghamton was transformed. He giggled. He danced. He called McHale Wally Winky and hugged the very men he had tried to court-martial. "Oh, you boys are just a barrel of fun," Binghamton shrieked, his eyes glazed with a chemical euphoria. Under the influence of the gas, he cancelled the fitness board and promoted Parker to Admiral of the Hearts. It was a temporary madness, a brief window of joy in a landscape of grey steel and green jungle. When the gas wore off, the hatred returned, but the documents had been signed. Parker was safe, saved by the laughter of a man who had forgotten how to smile. Chapter 7. The Heart of New Caledonia. The grandest adventure, however, took place away from Taratupa, in the sophisticated streets of New Caledonia. The 73 had been sent to pick up the base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills. It was a city of intrigue, of French cafes and shadow dallies. For the crew, it was a chance to escape the isolation of the island. But for Ensign Parker, it was a disaster waiting to happen. While carrying the payroll bag down Saloon Road, Parker was distracted by a vision, a girl with a birthmark on her right ankle, shaped like a tiny, brown heart. In that moment of distraction, he was struck from behind. When he woke, the money was gone. The romance of the city turned into a frantic hunt. "We have to find the girl with the heart on her ankle," McHale ordered. "She's the only one who saw what happened." They scoured the cafes and the gambling dens. They peeked under tablecloths and risked the wrath of French gendarmes. It was a pursuit of a ghost, a romantic mystery that led them to a pair of local thieves who had stashed the money in an ancient decorative cannon. The climax was a cinematic chase through the streets, ending in a thunderous explosion of the cannon that showered the city in a rain of $20 and $50 bills. As the money fluttered down like green snow, McHale and his men scrambled to collect every cent. In the midst of the chaos, Parker found the girl again. She wasn't a thief. She was just a local girl caught in the crossfire of a war she didn't understand. He didn't get the money from her, but he got a smile, a memory of a heart on an ankle that would stay with him long after the war was over. Chapter 8. Sunset. On the 73, the payroll was recovered, the Sultan was appeased, and Binghamton was once again thwarted. As the sun began to set over Taratupa, casting long, golden shadows across the lagoon, the crew of the PT-73 gathered on the deck. Gruber sat near the radio, a letter from Ginger in his hand. She had seen him the commander at the service show. She had believed a lie, but more than that, she had seen the man behind the gold braid. "She says she's waiting for me, Skip," Gruber said, his voice thick with emotion. "Not the commander, just me, Lester from the Bronx." McHale leaned against the bridge, looking out at the horizon. The war was far from over. There would be more inspections, more iron pants admirals, more schemes from Binghamton. But as he looked at the faces of his men, the thieves, the gamblers, the poets in dungarees, he knew they were more than a crew. They were a family. "You know, Skip," Parker said, sitting on the edge of the boat with Sidney the alligator resting nearby. "This place isn't so bad. If you look at it right, it's almost romantic." McHale laughed, a deep, resonant sound that carried over the water. He lit a cigar, the smoke curling into the purple twilight. "It's a madhouse, Chuck," McHale said. "But it's our madhouse." As the first stars began to pierce the velvet sky, the PT-73 sat silent on the water. The tides of Taratupa continued to pull, a constant reminder of the world outside. But for tonight, there was only the sound of the waves, the scent of the hibiscus, and the enduring strength of the human heart in the middle of a world at war. Binghamton, back in his office, watched them through his binoculars. He saw the glow of McHale's cigar and felt the familiar surge of frustration. But even he, in the quiet of the night, felt the pull of the island. He adjusted his cap, sighed, and wondered if the nurses had finally gotten their garter belts. The war would continue tomorrow. But tonight, on Taratupa, love and laughter were the only things that mattered. Epilogue. Years later, when the jungles had reclaimed the air raid shelters and the lagoon was empty of PT boats, the legends remained. They spoke of a captain who danced with ghosts, an ensign who befriended monsters, and a commander who ruled a kingdom of outcasts. But mostly, they spoke of the romance, the way a group of men found light in the darkest of times, and how a tiny heart on a girl's ankle could be worth more than $62,000. Taratupa was gone, but the tides never stopped coming in. Tides of Taratupa, a tale of valor and vanished hearts. Chapter 1. The Emerald Cage. The South Pacific sun was a merciless master. It beat down upon the volcanic sands of Taratupa, turning the lagoon into a sheet of hammered turquoise and the air into a humid shroud that smelled of salt, rot, and blooming jasmine. For Captain Wallace Old Leadbottom Binghamton, the island was not a tropical paradise. It was a purgatory of his own making. Standing in his office, Binghamton stared at the ceiling fan that labored to move the stagnant air. His stomach was a churning pit of acid. "Garter belts," he hissed, the words tasting like copper. Across from him, his sycophantic aide, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, stood at a stiff, trembling attention. "The supply officer says the request is urgent, sir." Morales. Sagging. "Everything is sagging, Carpenter, including my sanity," Binghamton roared. But his rage was merely a mask for a deeper, colder fear. A message had arrived that morning from Comfleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty, a man whose soul was rumored to be forged from cold-rolled steel, was arriving for a sneak inspection. To Rafferty, Taratupa was a disgrace. To Binghamton, it was a ticking time bomb named Quentin McHale. "Do you realize the mess this place is in?" Binghamton paced, his pills rattling in his pocket. "The Petty Officers Club sinks are backed up. The nurses are out of uniform. And McHale, McHale is probably running a floating gambling casino on the PT-73 this very minute. Suddenly, a desperate light sparked in Binghamton's eyes. It was a cowardly light, born of the realization that if he were too ill to receive the admiral, the blame for the chaos would fall on someone else's shoulders. "Carpenter," he whispered, clutching his stomach. "I feel a supreme test approaching. I am sick, terribly sick. If I am incapacitated, I must appoint an acting base commander, someone to face Rafferty, someone like McHale." Binghamton's smile was a jagged thing. If McHale and his cutthroats were in charge, they would surely destroy themselves in front of the admiral. It was a perfect, treacherous plan, a trap set in the heart of paradise. Chapter 2. The Pirate and the Nurse. Down at the docks, the PT-73 sat low in the water. Commander Quentin McHale lounged on the deck, his cap tilted back, watching the horizon. He was a man of the sea, with skin tanned to the color of old leather and eyes that had seen too much of the war's darkness to take the Navy's regulations seriously. To his men, he was a god. To the brass, he was a headache. But to Lieutenant Nurse Wilson, who walked down the pier with a clipboard held against her chest, he was something far more complicated. "Commander," she called out. Her voice was cool, but there was a flicker of something softer in her gaze. "Captain Binghamton is asking for you. He's indisposed." McHale hopped onto the pier with a grace that belied his rugged frame. He stood close to her, closer than the manual allowed. "Indisposed, or just hiding from the admiral's inspection, Kate?" She suppressed a smile. "He claims he's at death's door. He's appointing you acting base commander." McHale's laugh was deep and resonant. "Me? A saltwater skipper behind a desk? The island wouldn't survive the week." "Perhaps," Wilson said softly, her eyes meeting his. "But Taratupa has a way of changing people, Quentin. Even pirates." There was a moment then, suspended in the heavy tropical heat, where the war felt 1,000 miles away. The scent of the ocean mingled with her perfume, and McHale felt a pull stronger than any tide. He reached out, his hand hovering near hers, before the bumbling voice of Ensign Charles Parker shattered the spell. "Skipper, skipper, you won't believe it. The captain, he fainted right into Carpenter's arms." Well, Carpenter didn't actually catch him, but McHale sighed, the moment gone. He looked at the PT-73, then back at the nurse. "Duty calls, Kate." Chapter 3. The Sultan's Shadow. The transition of power was as chaotic as expected. Within hours of taking command, McHale had turned the commander's office into a hub of informal operations. While Parker struggled with the plumbing issues at the Petty Officers Club, McHale found himself facing a diplomatic crisis he hadn't prepared for. The Sultan of Marami was arriving. He was a noble ally, a ruler of a strategic chain of islands. And he was bringing his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Orient, to Taratupa for sanctuary against the encroaching Japanese forces. When the Sultan's vessel docked, the island held its breath. The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and fierce pride, stepped onto the sand, followed by 3 women veiled in silk, their eyes sparkling like gems. But it was the youngest, Princess Siri, who caught the eye of Ensign Parker. Parker, a man who usually tripped over his own shadow, found himself standing perfectly still as Siri walked past him. Her veil fluttered in the breeze, revealing a glimpse of a smile that made his heart stutter. "Your Highness," Parker stammered, bowing so low he nearly hit his head on a piling. Siri giggled, a sound like silver bells. "You are the brave warrior who rescued us?" I'm an ensign, ma'am. Charles Parker, at your command." The Sultan, however, was less impressed with the military bearing of McHale's crew. "Is this a naval base or a marketplace?" he asked, his voice booming. McHale, ever the diplomat, stepped forward. "A bit of both, Your Highness. We find that a man fights better when he's not worried about the starch in his collar." The Sultan's eyes narrowed. then landed on the PT-73. An interesting craft. Fast. Deadly. I wish to see it in action. This was the beginning of a dangerous game. For the Sultan to be impressed, the crew had to perform. But for Binghamton, watching from his hospital bed through binoculars, every success of McHale was a nail in his own coffin. Chapter 4. Forbidden Moonlight. That night, the island was transformed. The Sultan had insisted on a traditional dinner, and the air was filled with the sound of drums and the smell of roasting pig. But away from the light of the fires, near the edge of the lagoon, two shadows met. Ensign Parker stood nervously by a palm tree, holding a small paper bag. Princess Siri emerged from the darkness, having slipped away from her father's guards. "You came," Parker whispered. "I wish to see the moon on the water," Siri said, her English perfect and melodic. "In my country, the moon is a goddess of secrets." "In my country? Well, in Ohio, we just call it the moon," Parker said, feeling foolish. He held out the bag. "I brought you something. It's a peace offering, or a ceremonial greeting. My mother's peanut butter." Siri took a spoonful, her eyes widening. "It is sticky, like the bonds of friendship." They sat on the sand, the ensign and the princess, two souls from different worlds brought together by the freakish winds of war. Parker told her of the farm, of the cold winters, and of his fear that he would never be the officer the Navy wanted him to be. Siri listened, her hand resting near his. "My father says a man's worth is not in his rank, but in the loyalty of his friends. Your commander, McHale, he loves you. That is more than any medal." Parker looked at her, the moonlight reflecting in her eyes. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel like a bumbling ensign. He felt like a man. He leaned in, the distance between them closing, until a loud splash from the lagoon startled them. It was Sydney, the island's resident alligator, surfacing for a midnight snack. "Sydney," Parker hissed. "Not now." Siri laughed, the tension breaking. Chapter 5. The Ghost of PT 13. The romance, however, was short-lived. Binghamton, fueled by jealousy and the fear that the Sultan would recommend McHale for a promotion, launched a psychological assault. He began spreading a rumor, a dark, ancient naval superstition. He claimed that the PT-73 was actually the PT-13, a jinxed boat that had lost 3 crews to the sea. The crew, superstitious to a man, began to unravel. Gruber stopped eating. Willie started seeing omens in the clouds. Even the brave Parker found himself jumping at every creak of the hull. "It's a Jonah ship, Skip," Gruber whispered as they sat on the deck under a blood-red moon. Binghamton found the old logs, the original crew. In the shadows, McHale knew it was a trick. He knew Binghamton had faked the records to scare the men into requesting transfers. But he also knew that in the Pacific, a man's mind was his own worst enemy. "There are no ghosts on this boat, Gruber," McHale said, his voice steady. "Only the ones we bring with us." But that night, the ghosts appeared. Eerie lights flickered in the engine room. The guns fired on their own. The men, terrified, prepared to abandon the base. It was Nurse Wilson who found McHale on the pier, watching his crew fall apart. "You have to do something, Quentin," she said, her voice filled with concern. "They believe it, and if they believe they are cursed, they will be." McHale looked at her. "Binghamton wants them to think they're dead men walking." "Fine. If he wants ghosts, I'll give him a haunting he'll never forget." Chapter 6. The Masquerade of the Dead. The plan was audacious. If Binghamton wanted the crew of the 13 to be dead, McHale decided they would return from the grave. Using phosphorus paint and stolen sheets from the infirmary, the crew transformed themselves into glowing specters. They snuck into Binghamton's quarters in the dead of night, the air filled with the recorded sounds of howling winds and clanking chains. Binghamton, already on edge from his illness, awoke to see McHale glowing with a sickly green light standing at the foot of his bed. "Wally," Binghamton shrieked, diving under his covers. "Go away. I didn't mean it. The records were faked. I made it all up. Give us the transfers, Wally." the ghost of Parker wailed, floating near the window, actually standing on a ladder. We need them for our records in the great beyond. In his terror, Binghamton surrendered. He produced the transfer papers, his hands shaking so hard he could barely hold the pen. As the ghosts vanished into the night, McHale had the evidence he needed. Binghamton's signed confession of his deceit. But the victory was hollow. The war was turning. The Japanese were moving closer to the Marami Islands, and the Sultan had to leave. Chapter 7. The Parting of the Ways. The morning of the Sultan's departure was somber. The Sultan stood on the deck of his ship, looking at McHale with newfound respect. "You have a strange way of waging war, Commander," the Sultan said. "But your heart is true. If my islands survive, you will always have a home there." Princess Siri stood at the rail, looking down at Ensign Parker. She threw him a single jasmine flower. "Do not forget the moon, Charles," she called out. Parker caught the flower, his eyes wet. As the ship sailed out of the lagoon, McHale put a hand on Parker's shoulder. "She's a princess, Chuck, and you're you." "That's enough for her, Skip," Parker said softly. For the first time, being me was enough. Chapter 8. The Payroll Peril. The peace of Taratupa was shattered once more when a transport plane was grounded in New Caledonia. On board was the base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills. Binghamton, seeing one last chance to trap McHale, ordered the 73 to pick up the money. He hoped that the temptation would be too great for the pirates, and they would steal the dough, leading to a life sentence in the brig. McHale, sensing the trap, sent Parker to the paymaster's office with strict orders. "Do not stop. Do not talk to anyone. Come straight back to the boat." But Parker, distracted by a girl's ankle specifically, a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark, was ambushed. He was knocked unconscious, and the canvas bag containing the $62,000 vanished into the winding streets of the French colonial port. When McHale found Parker wandering the docks, dazed and empty-handed, he knew they were in deep trouble. "Skip, I saw her," Parker lamented. "We have 3 hours before Binghamton arrives for a surprise inspection," McHale said, his jaw set. "If that money isn't on the boat, we're all going to be wearing stripes for a long, long time." The search through New Caledonia was a desperate race. The crew fanned out, checking every bistro and gambling den. They looked at every ankle, every face, while Binghamton and his aide, Carpenter, tracked them like vultures. In a crowded marketplace, McHale finally spotted the man in the grey suit, the one Parker remembered from the shadows. The man was carrying the canvas bag, heading toward an old, abandoned fort. Chapter 9. The Cannon and the Alligator. The climax occurred at the ruins of a Napoleonic-era fort overlooking the harbor. The thieves had stashed the money inside an old, rusted cannon, planning to retrieve it after the heat died down. But McHale and his men arrived first. As they struggled to retrieve the bag from the deep recesses of the barrel, Binghamton and a squad of MPs surrounded them. "Caught red-handed," Binghamton screamed, his face purple with triumph. "The payroll, stolen by McHale's cutthroats." "MP, arrest them." "Wait, Captain," McHale shouted. "We were recovering it. The thieves put it in the cannon." "A likely story. There are no thieves. Only you." Just then, a Japanese scout plane, perhaps sensing the commotion, dived out of the sun, its machine guns stitching a line of fire across the fort. "Take cover," McHale yelled. In the chaos, the MP scrambled for safety. Parker, seeing the enemy plane coming around for another pass, realized the only weapon they had was the ancient cannon. "Skip, it's loaded." "Not with a shell, but with the payroll." "One palasava. Zumadeng. Fire it, Chuck," McHale roared. "Give them a taste of the U.S. Treasury." Parker lit the fuse. The ancient iron groaned, then erupted with a deafening boom. But instead of a cannonball, the sky was suddenly filled with green. $62,000 in $20 and $50 bills exploded into the air, fluttering down like a blizzard of wealth. The Japanese pilot, perhaps blinded by the sight of literal money falling from the sky, jerked his stick, his wing clipping a tree before he spiraled into the sea. Chapter 10. the manna from heaven. As the smoke cleared, the fort was covered in cash. Binghamton stood frozen, a $50 bill landing perfectly on his head. Manna from heaven, Gruber whispered, reaching out to catch a floating 20. It's the payroll, Captain, McHale said, brushing soot from his uniform. Every cent of it. Technically, we used it to defend the base. I'm sure the admiral will understand the emergency expenditure. Binghamton looked at the money, then at McHale, then at the smoldering cannon. He knew he had lost. If he arrested McHale now, he would have to explain why the payroll was in a cannon and how McHale had saved the base with a blast of legal tender. Pick it up, Binghamton croaked. Every single dollar. As the crew began the long task of counting the bills, McHale walked over to Nurse Wilson, who had watched the entire spectacle from a distance. You look like you've seen a ghost, Kate, he said, smiling. I've seen a lot of things today, Quentin, she replied, her eyes bright. But mostly, I saw a man who knows how to make his own luck. She leaned in and kissed him a real kiss. Not a tropical fantasy, but something solid and true. Epilogue. The long watch. Life on Taratupa eventually returned to its chaotic normal. Binghamton continued to plot, McHale continued to evade, and Parker continued to write letters to a princess in a distant land. Sydney the alligator remained the silent guardian of the lagoon, often seen with a peanut butter sandwich provided by an ensign who still believed in magic. The war would eventually end. The emerald waters would wash away the blood and the oil, leaving only the stories. Stories of a pirate commander, a bumbling ensign, and the girls they loved under a South Pacific moon. But for now, the PT-73 sat at the pier, the engines humming, ready for the next tide. For, on Taratupa, the only thing more certain than the heat was that, as long as McHale was in command, the Lost Boys would always find their way home. The end. Tides of Taratupa. Love and Liberty in the South Pacific. Chapter 1. The Admiral and the Acting Commander. The sun over Taratupa did not merely shine, it pulsated. It was a thick, humid heat that clung to the skin like a wet wool blanket, scented with the paradoxical mix of blooming hibiscus and diesel fumes. For Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, known to his less than loyal subordinates as Old Lead Bottom, the heat was the least of his problems. Standing in his office, Binghamton stared at the requisition form for garter belts. Wow, 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 he muttered, his voice a frantic staccato. He looked at his supply officer, his eyes wide with the frantic energy of a man on the brink of a nervous breakdown. If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. I mean, you shake a leg. You know what I mean. The war was a weight upon his shoulders, but today, that weight was about to become an anvil. A message had arrived from Confleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty was arriving for a sneak inspection. Rafferty was a man who ate discipline for breakfast and spat out court-martials by lunch. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up. Binghamton screamed into a telephone, his face turning a shade of purple that matched the tropical sunset. I am the commanding officer here, not a plumber. My stomach acid could start a car. Desperation is the mother of all schemes. Binghamton clutched his stomach, real pain mingling with the imaginary. If he were sick truly, bedridden sick, he wouldn't have to face the Admiral. He could appoint an acting base commander to take the heat. But who? His loyal but dim-witted aide, Carpenter? No, that wouldn't be enough of a shield. Then, a stroke of Machiavellian genius hit him. Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale. McHale was the thorn in his side, the leader of a crew of pirates on PT-73 who treated the war like a perpetual luau. If McHale were in charge, the island would fall into such utter chaos that Rafferty would destroy McHale's career, leaving Binghamton to emerge from his illness as the victim of a rogue subordinate. Carpenter! Binghamton gasped, falling into a chair. I'm sick. Terribly sick. Call the medic. On the double. While Binghamton was busy perfecting his deathbed performance, the salt-crusted deck of the PT-73 was hosting a different kind of drama. Quentin McHale stood at the helm, the wind catching his graying hair. He was a man of the sea, a leader who ruled not by the book, but by a deep, unspoken bond with his men. When the news reached them that McHale was to be acting base commander, the crew rejoiced. But for McHale, it felt like a trap. He looked at Ensign Charles Parker, his earnest, bumbling executive officer. "Parker, you're the new acting executive officer of the base," McHale said, a grim smile on his face. "Oh boy, did you hear that, Skipper?" Parker beamed, adjusting his cap, which was, as usual, slightly askew. "You'll never regret this." But the romance of command was short-lived. In the administrative heart of Taratupa, the sinks were still plugged, the garter belts were missing, and the air raid sirens were being tested by sailors who thought they were musical instruments. Amidst the chaos, a softer thread began to weave through the narrative, the presence of Lieutenant Nurse Wilson. Wilson was a woman of steel and grace, navigating the madness of the base with a calm that McHale found intoxicating. In the rare quiet moments between Binghamton's tantrums and the crew's hijinks, McHale found himself watching her. It wasn't just the uniform, it was the way she looked at the chaotic world with a knowing, weary smile. Chapter 2. The Sultan's Secret and the Forbidden Dance. The arrival of a Sultan Karim of Mirani and his 3 daughters changed the atmosphere of the island from a military outpost to an exotic court. The Sultan was a man of immense dignity and even greater pride. He traveled with his most valuable possessions. His daughters, the princesses of Mirani. McHale and his crew had been tasked with rescuing the Sultan after his plane made an emergency landing near Aku Aku. On the boat ride back, the air was thick with more than just salt spray. The crew, starved for beauty in the desolate reaches of the Pacific, were spellbound. "Wowie, wow, wow, happy," one of the crewmen whispered as the princesses stepped onto the deck. "The next man who dares to debase the dignity of the princesses will answer to me," the Sultan roared. But love, or at least the youthful, reckless version of it, knows no rank or decree. In the language of Mirani, Siri meant happiness, and for a moment, amidst the thunder of the PT boat's engines, Virgil felt a joy he hadn't known since leaving home. As they arrived back at the base, Binghamton, recovered from his illness now that Rafferty had departed, saw another opportunity to shine. He would host a grand dinner for the Sultan. "I want everything 100% in order," Binghamton barked, but the pirates of the 73 had other plans. Virgil, desperate to see Siri again, convinced his buddies to help him borrow the PT boat for a moonlit ride. Deception, however, is a dangerous game. In a series of frantic swaps and disguises, the crew tried to hide the fact that one of the princesses was missing from the dinner. The climax of the evening occurred when the Sultan insisted his daughters dance for the officers. In the shadows of the banquet hall, McHale watched as the crew members, disguised in veils and silks, tried to mimic the grace of Mirani royalty. Binghamton, suspicious as ever, tore a veil away. "You phony Balinese bunny, you're under arrest." The outrage was immediate. The Sultan stood, his face a mask of fury. "Captain, your unpardonable behavior will be reported to the State Department. I will raid your Washington." In the fallout, McHale stood between his men and the captain's wrath. He saw the look in Virgil's eyes, a genuine, heartbroken longing for Siri. It was then that McHale realized that the war wasn't just about torpedoes and territory. It was about the small, fragile moments of humanity that the brass tried so hard to crush. Chapter 3. The Legend of Ginger and the Commander. If there was one man on the 73 who lived for the hustle, it was Gruber. But beneath the schemes and the black market deals, Gruber had a secret. Ginger. Ginger was a dancer with a traveling service show, a woman with a laugh like wind chimes, and a heart that belonged entirely to a man she believed was a high-ranking officer. Gruber, in a fit of romantic insecurity, had written to her, claiming he was a lieutenant commander. When the service show arrived on Taratupa, Gruber's world imploded. He couldn't let her see him in his swabby whites. He begged McHale for a favor, one that could land them all in the brig. "Please, Skip," Gruber pleaded, his eyes moist. "If I don't see her as a commander, I'll lose her. I'll be living at the Y until I'm 60. Against his better judgment, McHale allowed the charade. For 5 minutes, Gruber's Island, a small stretch of beach, became the headquarters of Commander Gruber. The crew fell in, dressed in mismatched uniforms, acting as his elite guard. When Ginger stepped off the boat, the world seemed to stop. She was a vision in a sundress, her eyes searching for her hero. "Lester," she cried, throwing her arms around Gruber, who was stiff in McHale's borrowed jacket. "Pussycat," Gruber whispered, his voice cracking. "Just doing my job. Just another death-defying mission." Pussycat, McHale, acting as Gruber's ensign, watched from the sidelines. He realized that they were all pretending to be something they weren't, trying to stay brave in a world that was falling apart. The romance was interrupted by the arrival of a British Commodore, Norcross. In a frantic comedy of errors, involving a surfacing Japanese submarine and a torpedo fired by a terrified Ensign Parker, the truth threatened to spill. "Smashing show, Grover!" the Commodore shouted as the torpedo hit its mark. In the end, the sub was sunk. The Commodore was impressed. And Ginger left the island, still believing her Lester was the greatest hero in the Pacific. As the boat carrying her away disappeared into the horizon, Gruber stood on the shore, his borrowed stripes feeling heavier than lead. "You okay, Gruber?" McHale asked, placing a hand on his shoulder. "She loves me, Skip," Gruber said softly. "She really loves me. I just hope I can become the man she thinks I am before the war ends." Chapter 4. The New Caledonia Payroll. The stakes of the heart were soon eclipsed by the stakes of survival. The base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills, had to be transported from New Caledonia. Binghamton, in another attempt to trap McHale, assigned the task to Ensign Parker. "Take the shortcut back to the 73. Binghamton had instructed, a wicked glint in his eye. Down Saloon Road, past the gambling casino. It was a setup, and Parker, with his innocent heart, walked right into it. He was ambushed, the money stolen, and his memory of the event was a hazy blur of a girl's ankle. A girl's ankle? McHale groaned back on the boat. "That's all you've got?" "She had a little brown heart," Parker insisted, his face flushing. "A birthmark on her right ankle." The search for the girl with the heart became a desperate race across New Caledonia. The crew scoured the cafes and dance halls, lifting tablecloths and peeking under benches, much to the chagrin of the local population. Amidst the hunt, McHale found himself in a quiet French cafe, the sound of a distant accordion drifting through the air. There, he saw her nurse Wilson. She wasn't on duty. She was wearing a simple civilian dress, looking out at the ocean. "Looking for a girl with a heart on her ankle, Commander?" she asked without turning around. McHale sat beside her. "Among other things, this war makes us look for signs in the strangest places," she said, her voice soft. "We're all just looking for something to tell us we're still alive." For a moment, the payroll, Binghamton's schemes, and the thunder of the guns felt a world away. McHale reached out, his hand hovering near hers. The romance of the Pacific wasn't in the grand gestures. It was in the shared silence of two people who understood the cost of the conflict. The moment was shattered by Parker's voice echoing down the street. They had found the suspects, a group of locals who had stashed the money inside an old, ceremonial cannon. In a frantic shootout with a Japanese Zero that chose that exact moment to strafe the town, the cannon was fired. Instead of a lead ball, a cloud of $62,000 erupted into the sky, raining down on the shocked inhabitants like green manna from heaven. Manna from heaven. McHale laughed as he scrambled to collect the bills. Chapter 5. The Alligator and the Ultimatum. The final trial for the crew of the 73 came in the form of Sydney, a friendly alligator that Parker had befriended and fed peanut butter sandwiches. Binghamton, reaching the end of his patience, had marked $900 of his own money and planted it in a wallet, hoping to frame McHale for theft. But Sydney, with a penchant for leather and the smell of peanut butter, had snatched the wallet first. The ensuing court-martial was a circus of the absurd. Parker, acting as his own defense attorney, argued with the passion of a man whose life depended on an alligator's testimony. "I object," Parker shouted. "You can't call Sydney stupid. He may have had an unhappy childhood." McHale watched the proceedings with a mixture of amusement and pride. He saw his men, his pirates, standing together. He saw Nurse Wilson in the gallery, her eyes meeting his with a look of quiet support. When Sydney finally testified by wandering into the courtroom and dropping the wallet at the feet of the judge, the truth came out. Binghamton's trap had snapped shut on his own fingers. Aha! The admiral, presiding over the case, shouted. So it was a trap. Who is trying to frame who, Captain? As the court-martial collapsed into laughter, McHale walked out into the warm Pacific night. The air was finally cooling, the stars reflecting in the calm waters of the lagoon. He found Nurse Wilson waiting by the pier. Another victory for the 73, she said, her smile bright in the moonlight. It wasn't a victory, McHale said, stepping closer. It was a miracle. We could use more of those, she whispered. McHale looked at the PT-73, silhouetted against the horizon. He looked at the woman beside him. The war would go on, the battles would be fought, and Binghamton would undoubtedly dream up a new way to ruin them by morning. But for tonight, there was the scent of hibiscus, the sound of the tide, and the soft, certain heat of a hand finding his. In the middle of a world at war, Quentin McHale had found his own version of happiness. Wow, he whispered, a smile playing on his lips. Wow, wow, wow. As they walked down the pier, the shadows of the palms danced around them, a silent celebration of the love and liberty that even a world on fire could not extinguish. The tides of Taratupa continued to roll, carrying with them the stories of men and women who, in the face of death, chose to live, to laugh, and most importantly, to love. Epilogue. Moonlight. Over the 73. Days later, the PT-73 sat at anchor. The crew was quiet, for once, content to watch the sun dip below the waves. Gruber was writing a letter to Ginger this time, a real one, telling her that he was just a sailor, but a sailor who would come home to her. Parker was sharing a peanut butter sandwich with Sidney on the shore, and in the commander's quarters, McHale sat with a small, framed photo. It wasn't of a ship or a medal. It was a candid shot of a nurse, laughing in the tropical sun. Full speed ahead, McHale whispered to the empty room. The engines of the 73 were silent, but the heart of Taratupa beat on a steady, romantic pulse in the vast, unforgiving blue of the Pacific. Emerald Tides of Taratupa, a novel of love, duty, and the Pacific War. Chapter 1. The Burden of Command. The Pacific sun was a relentless, golden eye, staring down at the emerald speck of Taratupa Island for Captain Wallace B. Binghamton. The heat was not merely a physical presence. It was a weight that pressed upon his shoulders, competing with the heavy gold braid of his uniform. Inside his office, the air was stagnant, smelling of old paper, salt air, and the bitter tang of the stomach acid that seemed to be his constant companion. Garter belts, Binghamton muttered, his voice a rasp of disbelief. He looked across his desk at his supply officer. Captain Bingham said, "Wow. Just wow. You are the supply officer here, man. If the nurses need garter belts, you snap to it. Shake a leg." He turned toward the window, watching the PT-73 boat bobbing in the turquoise lagoon. He hated that boat. More specifically, he hated the man who commanded it. Commander Quentin McHale was a thorn in his side that refused to be pulled. McHale was rugged, charismatic, and possessed a blatant disregard for the naval manual that made Binghamton's blood boil. "Everything is on my shoulders," Binghamton sighed, reaching for a bottle of white pills. His stomach felt like a car engine, trying to start with the wrong fuel. "Sir," his aide, the nervous Lieutenant Carpenter, whispered. "I just got a message. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today for a sneak inspection." The bottle of pills nearly slipped from Binghamton's hand. Rafferty. The man was a legend of discipline, a human razor who would slice through the chaotic, makeshift paradise McHale had built. Iron Pants. Binghamton's eyes darted around the room. The Petty Officers Club had backed up sinks. The laundry was a mess. And then there was McHale's crew, the pirates of Taratupa. A brilliant, devious thought began to take root in his mind. If he was sick, genuinely, medically incapacitated, he couldn't be blamed for the state of the base. He could appoint an acting commander. "Carpenter," Binghamton said, a slow, predatory smile spreading across his face. "I think I'm going to faint. No, I'm going to be terribly ill. Call the medic. Quick." "McHale. I'll put McHale in charge." Let Rafferty find that cutthroat at the helm. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the admiral's eyes. It was a gamble of the heart and the career. But, in the humid haze of the South Pacific, the line between a brilliant maneuver and a catastrophic mistake was as thin as the horizon. Chapter 2. The Princess and the Pirate. The arrival of the Sultan of Marami changed the atmosphere of the island from one of military tension to exotic intrigue. The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and hidden sorrows, arrived with a priceless cargo. Commander McHale stood on the pier, his cap tilted at a rakish angle, when the Sultan's eldest daughter, Princess Siri, stepped onto the wood. Time seemed to slow. Her eyes were like deep lagoons, and the silk of her traditional dress moved like water against the tropical breeze. "Greetings, Your Highness," McHale said, his voice dropping an octave. "I am Commander McHale. My crew and I are here to serve you. You speak with the tongue of a sailor, but your eyes carry the weight of a man who knows the sea's secrets." Siri replied, her English perfect and melodic. Binghamton, watching from a distance, felt a pang of jealousy that transcended military rank. He wanted the prestige of hosting a sultan. He wanted the elegance that the royal family brought to this god-forsaken rock. But McHale was already winning them over. The Sultan was fascinated by the PT-73. And Siri was fascinated by the man who refused to bow to anything but the wind. That night, under a moon that hung like a silver coin in the velvet sky, the island transformed. The war felt 1,000 miles away. Gruber, one of McHale's most resourceful men, had organized a secret shindig. There was music stolen, beautiful music, and the scent of roasting pig filled the air. In the shadows of the palm grove, McHale found Siri. "This is a dangerous game, Commander," she whispered, her hand brushing against the rough cotton of his sleeve. "My father is a sultan. You are a soldier of a foreign land. In this theater of war, Princess, we're all just actors playing parts until the curtain falls," McHale said, stepping closer. "But this moment? This isn't a play." Before he could speak further, a shout erupted from the beach. Captain Binghamton had arrived, and he was not alone. The Sultan followed, his face a mask of royal fury. The Roman orgy, as Binghamton would later describe it to the admiral, had begun. Chapter 3. The Ghost of PT-13. The rivalry reached a fever pitch when Binghamton attempted to convince the fleet that McHale's beloved boat was jinxed. He unearthed old records of a PT-13, a boat of tragedy and exploding gas tanks, and tried to gaslight the crew into believing their vessel was haunted by the dead. "We're living on borrowed time," Parker, the bumbling but gold-hearted ensign, stammered as he looked at the freshly painted 13 on the hull. But McHale knew his men. He knew their fears, but more importantly, he knew their loyalty. In a daring midnight counterplay, the crew used laughing gas stolen from the infirmary and elaborate costumes to turn the tables. They became the ghosts. Binghamton, trapped in his own office, saw figures draped in white mist. He heard the haunting laughter of men he thought he had shipped away. "I'm an angel." "Angel 13, tower, ready for takeoff," shouted a voice that sounded suspiciously like Willie, floating past the window on a pulley system. In the midst of the chaos, a moment of true vulnerability occurred. Ness Wilson, the only woman on the base who saw the man behind Binghamton's blaster, found the captain trembling in the dark. "Wallace," she said softly, using his first name, a forbidden intimacy. "Why do you fight him so hard? You're a good officer. You don't need to destroy him to be great." Binghamton looked up, his eyes glassy. For a second, the mask of the tyrant slipped. "He's everything I'm not, Wilson. He's free. I'm just a man in a cage made of regulations." She reached out, her hand resting on his shoulder. It was a silent promise. The war was cruel, but in the heart of Taratupa, even a man like Binghamton could find a brief, flickering light of redemptive love. Chapter 4. The Mystery of the Blue Heart. The climax of their journey took them to the bustling, neon-lit streets of New Caledonia. The base payroll, $62,000, had vanished under Ensign Parker's watch. I saw an ankle. "Skip," Parker pleaded, his face pale. A girl's ankle, and it had a birthmark, a little brown heart. McHale led his men through the jazz clubs and smoky bars of the port city. It was a race against time. Binghamton was already there, lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce the moment the money was confirmed stolen. They found her in a club called the Azour Parrot. Her name was Yvette, a woman whose beauty was matched only by the sadness in her eyes. She sat at a corner table, a glass of amber liquid in front of her. McHale sat down opposite her. He didn't look at her face. He looked at her right ankle. There it was, a small, perfect heart-shaped mark. The payroll. Yvette, McHale said quietly. A lot of good men won't get paid because of what happened on that road. Yvette looked at him, and for a moment, the romance of the heist faded into the reality of survival. This war has taken my home, my family, and my soul, Commander. What is a bag of American paper to a woman who has nothing? It's the difference between an honorable discharge and a prison cell for a boy who never meant any harm. McHale replied, thinking of Parker. The tension was broken by the sound of sirens. Binghamton had arrived with the local police. But McHale was faster. In a flurry of action, a staged fight, a hidden bag in a broken cannon, and a desperate chase through the rain-slicked streets, the truth emerged. The money wasn't stolen by Yvette. It had been stashed by a group of local black marketeers who had used the girl as a distraction. In a final, heroic stand, the crew of the 73 fought back. They didn't use guns. They used their wits. The cannon fired not a shell, but a cloud of currency. 10s, 20s, and 50s rained down like manna from heaven over the stunned Captain Binghamton. 42,000. 365. 42,000. 366. Binghamton counted, his voice trembling as he stood in the middle of a street paved with gold. Chapter 5. The Vow in the Lagoon. Peace, or a version of it, returned to Taratupa. The Sultan and his daughters prepared to depart. The payroll was restored. The ghosts were laid to rest. On the final night, McHale stood on the deck of the PT-73. The water was still, reflecting the constellations like a dark mirror. Princess Siri appeared at the edge of the pier. "Will you remember us, Quentin?" she asked. McHale took his cap off, the wind mingling with the scent of jasmine from the shore. "I'll remember a girl who was too brave for her own crown, and a moon that was too bright for a war." He didn't kiss her. In the world of 1943, some distances were too great to bridge, even for a commander and a princess. But he took a small, silver whistle from his pocket and placed it in her hand. "If you ever need the 73, he said, "just blow." As the Sultan's ship disappeared into the horizon the next morning, Binghamton stood on his balcony. He looked at McHale, who was shouting orders to his men, his laughter echoing across the water. Binghamton didn't reach for his pills. He looked at the garter belt request on his desk and threw it into the trash. He looked out at the sea, and for the first time, he didn't see an enemy. He saw the vast, beautiful, and terrifying stage of a life he was finally starting to live. The tides of Taratupa continued to roll, carrying the secrets of hearts that beat for love in a time of fire. The end. Tides of the Azure Heart, a novel of the South Pacific. Prologue. The Emerald Cage. The South Pacific was a paradox of beauty and brutality. On the island of Taratupa, the air hung heavy with the scent of crushed hibiscus and the metallic tang of diesel fuel. To the world, it was a strategic dot on a map of war. To the men of PT-73, it was a sweltering emerald cage where time was measured in salt spray and the distance between letters from home. Captain Wallace B. Binghamton sat in his office, the overhead fan rhythmically slicing through the humid air. He was a man held together by starch and anxiety. Outside, the world was on fire, but inside his office, the most pressing crisis involved garter belts and clogged sinks. Wow, wow, wow. "You are the supply officer, Elroy. If the nurses need garter belts to keep their spirits and their stockings up, then you snap to it. Shake a leg." But beneath the petty grievances, a darker storm was brewing. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty was coming for a sneak inspection. In a world of shadows and shifting loyalties, Binghamton knew his reputation was as fragile as the glassware in the officers' club. Chapter 1. The Commander of Shadows. Quentin McHale was a man born of the sea. His skin was bronzed by 1,000 tropical sunsets, and his eyes held the weary wisdom of a sailor who had seen too many horizons. He didn't lead through regulations. He led through a fierce, quiet devotion to the cutthroats under his command. As Binghamton succumbed to a psychosomatic illness, a desperate ploy to avoid the iron gaze of Admiral Rafferty, the mantle of acting base commander fell upon McHale's broad shoulders. It was during this chaotic transition that McHale first truly saw Lieutenant Clara Wilson. She was the head nurse, a woman whose grace was an affront to the ugliness of the war. She walked into the office as McHale was attempting to navigate the mountain of paperwork Binghamton had left behind. "Commander," she said, her voice like a cool breeze in the stifling room. "The medical ward is short on quinine, and the men are losing their fight to the fever. I heard you were the man who gets things done, even if the rules have to bend." McHale looked up, the cynical remark he had prepared dying on his lips. There was a fire in her eyes that matched his own. "Lieutenant, in this part of the world, rules are just suggestions made by people who have never seen a mosquito the size of a dive bomber. Consider it done." Their hands brushed over a supply manifest, a brief spark of electricity that had nothing to do with the tropical heat. In that moment, the war felt leagues away. Chapter 2. The Sultan's Midnight Waltz. The arrival of the Sultan of Marami and his 3 daughters brought an unexpected elegance to the rugged outpost. The Sultan, a man of immense dignity, traveled with a priceless cargo. Binghamton, recovered and desperate to impress, threw a gala dinner. But beneath the silk and the champagne, a clandestine romance was blooming. Lester Gruber, the crew's resident scrounger and charmer, had fallen hopelessly in love with Princess Siri. Lester, McHale warned as they prepared for the evening. "She's royalty. You're a sailor who steals garter belts for a living. This isn't a fairy tale." "You sent?" "Skipper," Gruber replied, adjusting his ill-fitting dress whites. "In Marami, Siri means happiness, and for the first time in this war, I'm looking at a girl who makes me forget the sound of the sirens." The dinner was a tapestry of tension. Binghamton paced nervously, while Ensign Parker, bumbling as ever, nearly caused an international incident with a platter of hors d'oeuvres. But in the shadows of the veranda, Gruber and Siri found a moment of stolen peace. "You speak of your home," Siri whispered, her eyes reflecting the moonlight on the bay. "It's different," Gruber said, his voice thick with emotion. "But when I look at you, I don't care where I am. You could be in a palace or a PT boat, and you'd still be the only thing I see." The night ended in a flurry of dance and laughter, a rare reprieve from the looming shadow of the front lines. But for McHale and Clara, watching from the periphery, the night was a reminder of the fragility of their world. Chapter 3. The Ghost of the 13. Superstition is the religion of the sailor. When the crew found out that their beloved PT-73 had once been commissioned as the PT-13, a jinxed boat with a tragic history, fear spread through the ranks like a contagion. Binghamton, ever the opportunist, used this fear to try and break McHale's spirit. He planted rumors of hauntings and mechanical curses, but the ghosts of the Pacific were more than just stories. They were the memories of the fallen. One night, as the fog rolled in thick and white, McHale found Clara standing on the pier, staring at the darkened silhouette of the boat. "Do you believe in jinxes, Quentin?" she asked softly. He stepped beside her, the scent of her lavender soap, a stark contrast to the smell of salt and grease. "I believe that people make their own luck, but I also know that this ocean has a way of taking what it wants. The men are scared," she said, "and I'm scared too. Not of ghosts, but of the day the 73 doesn't come back." McHale turned to her, his hands finding her shoulders. "I will always come back, Clara. I have too much to live for now." The kiss that followed was desperate and salt-stained, a vow made against the darkness. They were two souls clinging to each other in a storm that showed no sign of breaking. Chapter 4. The Trial of the Heart. The incident with Sydney the alligator and the missing wallet of Captain Binghamton was the stuff of legend. To the crew, it was a hilarious romp. To Ensign Parker, it was a death sentence. The court-martial was a farce, a showcase for Binghamton's petty vengeance. But as McHale fought to save his friend, he realized that the trial was about more than just a wallet. It was a battle for the soul of the base. Clara stood in the back of the courtroom, her presence a silent anchor for McHale. When Sydney was brought in as a witness, the absurdity of the situation reached its peak. But it was the loyalty of the men, their willingness to risk everything for a bumbling ensign and a wayward reptile that finally broke the captain's case. As the charges were dropped, the base erupted in cheers. In the aftermath, McHale found Clara in the quiet of the infirmary. "You were brilliant today," she said, her eyes shining with pride. "I was desperate," he admitted, leaning against the doorframe. "I realized that, if I lost Parker, I'd be losing the one thing that keeps us human out here. We have to laugh, Clara. If we stop laughing, the war has already won." She walked to him, taking his hand. "Then we'll laugh together. For as long as we can." Chapter 5. The streets of Noumea. The mission to pick up the base payroll in New Caledonia was supposed to be a simple task. But in the winding, romantic streets of Noumea, nothing was ever simple. Ensign Parker, entrusted with the $62,000, was lured into a trap. He spoke of a girl, a brunette, with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle. A Clarice of the shadows. McHale and his men descended upon the city, not as warriors, but as detectives of the heart. They moved through smoky cabarets and hidden bistros, searching for the girl with the mark of the heart. "It's like a Cinderella story," Gruber remarked as they peered under cafe tables. "Only, instead of a glass slipper, we're looking for a birthmark, and instead of a prince, we've got Parker." But for McHale, the search was a journey through a different kind of world. It reminded him of a life he had almost forgotten, a life where you could walk down a street without checking for snipers. They finally found her in a small villa overlooking the harbor. She was not a common thief, but a woman desperate to fund a resistance against the creeping shadows of the enemy. The payroll had been stashed in an old cannon, a relic of a past war. In the final confrontation, amidst the roar of a Zero fighter overhead and the thunder of the old cannon, McHale didn't see the money. He saw the face of the war, the desperation, the sacrifice, and the strange, twisted beauty of people fighting for what they loved. Chapter 6. The Final Horizon. The payroll was recovered, the jinx was broken, and Admiral Rafferty left Taratupa with a begrudging respect for the chaos McHale managed to control. As the sun began to set on the final day of the saga, casting a long golden glow over the lagoon, McHale and Clara sat on the deck of the PT-73. The engines were silent, and the crew was ashore, celebrating another narrow escape. "What happens when the war ends, Quentin?" Clara asked, resting her head on his shoulder. He looked out at the horizon, where the sea met the sky in a perfect, unbroken line. "And where would you go?" He turned to her, the golden light catching the gray at his temples. "I'd go wherever you wanted to go. Because the boat doesn't matter, Clara. The destination doesn't matter. It's the person sitting next to you that makes the voyage worth it." She smiled, a tear tracing a path through the dust on her cheek. "I think I'd like that." The war would continue. There would be more inspections, more schemes from Binghamton, and more nights of fear. But on the PT-73, amidst the smell of salt and the memory of laughter, they had found something the war could never touch. They had found the azure heart of the Pacific. Epilogue. The Legend of Taratupa. Years later, the locals of the islands would still tell the story. They would speak of a sultan who danced in the moonlight, of a ghost boat that could never be sunk, and of an alligator who held the secrets of a fortune in his jaws. But mostly, they would tell the story of the commander and the nurse. They would say that if you look out at the bay on a night when the moon is full and the hibiscus is in bloom, you can still hear the faint sound of an accordion and the laughter of men who refuse to be broken. For Taratupa was more than a base. It was the place where love was the greatest victory of all. The end. Tides of Taratupa. A tale of valor and vanished hearts. Chapter 1. The Emerald Cage. The South Pacific sun was a merciless master. It beat down upon the volcanic sands of Taratupa, turning the lagoon into a sheet of hammered turquoise and the air into a humid shroud that smelled of salt, rot, and blooming jasmine. For Captain Wallace, old lead-bottom Binghamton, the island was not a tropical paradise. It was a purgatory of his own making. Every morning he awoke to the sound of distant surf and the immediate, stabbing pain of his own ambition. Standing in his office, Binghamton stared at the ceiling fan that labored to move the stagnant air. His stomach was a churning pit of acid, a physiological manifestation of his frustration. He looked down at the requisition forms on his desk, his eyes bulging. "Got a belt," he hissed, the words tasting like copper. "I am the commanding officer of this base, the strategic guardian of this sector, not a haberdasher for nurses." Carpenter. Across from him, his sycophantic aide, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, stood at a stiff, trembling attention. His uniform was damp with sweat, and his expression was one of permanent apology. "The supply officer says the request is urgent, sir. Morale is sagging. The nurses, they require the proper foundation for their duties. Sir, everything is sagging, Carpenter, including my sanity." Binghamton roared. He slammed his hand onto the desk, rattling his collection of antacid pills. But his rage was merely a mask for a deeper, colder fear. A message had arrived that morning from Confleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty, a man whose soul was rumored to be forged from cold-rolled steel, and whose inspection reports were read like death warrants, was arriving for a sneak inspection. To Rafferty, Taratupa was a disgrace. To Binghamton, it was a ticking time bomb named Quentin McHale. "Do you realize the mess this place is in?" Binghamton paced, the floorboards creaking under his weight. "The petty officers' club sinks are backed up. The nurses are out of uniform. And McHale is probably running a floating gambling casino on the PT-73 this very minute. If Rafferty sees one hula girl, one illegal distillery, or one unshaven sailor, my career is over. I'll be commanding a desk in the Aleutians before the sun sets." Suddenly, a desperate light sparked in Binghamton's eyes. It was a cowardly light, born of the realization that if he were too ill to receive the admiral, the blame for the chaos would fall on someone else's shoulders. He clutched his stomach and leaned heavily against the desk. "Carpenter," he whispered, his voice suddenly weak. "I feel a supreme test approaching. I am sick, terribly sick. My stomach acid could start a jeep. Sir, should I call the medic? If I am incapacitated, I must appoint an acting base commander. Someone to face Rafferty, someone like McHale." Binghamton's smile was a jagged, predatory thing. If McHale and his cutthroats were in charge, they would surely run wild and destroy themselves right in front of the admiral. It was a perfect, treacherous plan, a trap set in the heart of paradise. Chapter 2. The Pirate and the Nurse. Down at the docks, the PT-73 sat low in the water, looking more like a pirate ship than a United States Navy vessel. Laundry hung from the radio masts, and the faint smell of fermenting fruit wafted from the hold. Commander Quentin McHale lounged on the deck, his cap tilted back, watching the horizon. He was a man of the sea, with skin tanned to the color of old leather and eyes that had seen too much of the war's darkness to take the Navy's regulations seriously. He was a survivor, a man who fought for his crew as much as for his country. But to Lieutenant Nurse Wilson, who walked down the pier with a clipboard held against her chest and her hair tucked neatly into her cap, he was something far more complicated. She represented the order he defied, and he represented the freedom she secretly craved. "Commander," she called out. Her voice was cool, professional, but there was a flicker of something softer in her gaze when he looked her way. "Captain Binghamton is asking for you. He's indisposed." McHale hopped onto the pier with a grace that belied his rugged frame. He stood close to her, closer than the manual allowed, close enough to see the exhaustion behind her blue eyes. Indisposed, or just hiding from the admiral's inspection. "Kate?" She suppressed a smile, a rare break in her military facade. He claims he's at death's door. He's appointing you acting base commander. He says he trusts your unique leadership style. McHale's laugh was deep and resonant, a sound that carried across the water. Me? A saltwater skipper behind a desk? The island wouldn't survive the week. I'd have the MPs wearing grass skirts and the admiral drinking corn liquor by Tuesday. Perhaps, Wilson said softly, her eyes meeting his. The air between them hummed with unsaid words. But Taratupa has a way of changing people, Quentin. Even pirates can find a cause worth standing for, and even nurses can learn to appreciate the chaos. There was a moment then, suspended in the heavy tropical heat, where the war felt 1,000 miles away. The scent of the ocean mingled with her perfume, and McHale felt a pull stronger than any tide. He reached out, his hand hovering near hers, a gesture of tenderness that felt illicit in their world of steel and gunpowder. But before he could speak, the bumbling voice of Ensign Charles Parker shattered the spell. "Skipper, skipper, you won't believe it. The captain." He fainted right into Carpenter's arms. Well, Carpenter didn't actually catch him, but they're both on the floor. "It's a medical emergency, sir." McHale sighed, the moment gone. He looked at the PT-73, then back at the nurse. "Duty calls, Kate. Or at least Binghamton's version of it. Keep a bed ready for me in the infirmary. If I'm in charge of this base, I'm going to need some serious sedation." Chapter 3. The Sultan's Shadow. The transition of power was as chaotic as expected. Within hours of taking command, McHale had turned the commander's office into a hub of informal operations. While Parker struggled with the plumbing issues at the Petty Officers Club, unintentionally flooding the dance floor, McHale found himself facing a diplomatic crisis he hadn't prepared for. The Sultan of Marami was arriving. He was a noble ally, a ruler of a strategic chain of islands, and he was bringing his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Orient, to Taratupa for sanctuary against the encroaching Japanese forces. The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and fierce pride, stepped onto the sand, followed by 3 women veiled in silk, their eyes sparkling like gems. But it was the youngest, Princess Siri, who caught the eye of Ensign Parker. Parker, a man who usually tripped over his own shadow and could barely salute without poking his own eye, found himself standing perfectly still as Siri walked past him. Her veil fluttered in the breeze, revealing a glimpse of a smile that made his heart stutter. "Your Highness," Parker stammered, bowing so low he nearly hit his head on a piling. Siri giggled a sound like silver bells. "You are the brave warrior who rescued us? Father says the men of the American Navy are as strong as the storm. I'm an ensign, ma'am, Charles Parker, at your command. Or, at least, I'm at the command of the guy who's at your command." The Sultan, however, was less impressed with the military bearing of McHale's crew. He watched as Gruber tried to sell a genuine Japanese katana to a royal guard, and as Willie accidentally spilled a bucket of paint near the Sultan's feet. "Is this a naval base? Or a marketplace?" he asked, his voice booming. McHale, ever the diplomat, stepped forward, his charm working overtime. "A bit of both, Your Highness. We find that a man fights better when he's not worried about the starch in his collar. Welcome to Taratupa." The Sultan's eyes narrowed, then landed on the PT-73. "I wish to see it in action. I wish to steer it myself." This was the beginning of a dangerous game. For the Sultan to be impressed, the crew had to perform. Yes, but for Binghamton, watching from his hospital bed through binoculars, fueled by high blood pressure, and spite every success of McHale, was a nail in his own coffin. He began to plan his return, praying for McHale's failure. Chapter 4. Forbidden Moonlight. That night, the island was transformed. The Sultan had insisted on a traditional dinner, and the air was filled with the sound of drums and the smell of roasting pig. But away from the light of the fires, near the edge of the lagoon, where the mangroves grew thick, 2 shadows met. Ensign Parker stood nervously by a palm tree, holding a small paper bag. Princess Siri emerged from the darkness, having slipped away from her father's guards with the stealth of a cat. "You came," Parker whispered, his voice cracking. "I wish to see the moon on the water," Siri said, her English perfect and melodic. She had been educated in Europe but her heart remained in the islands. In my country, the moon is a goddess of secrets. She watches over those who are far from home. In my country, well, in Ohio, we just call it the moon, Parker said, feeling foolish. He held out the bag. I brought you something. It's a peace offering. My mother's peanut butter. It's the finest in the Midwest. Siri took a spoonful, her eyes widening. It is sticky, like the bonds of friendship. Or perhaps like the traps my father sets for his enemies. They sat on the sand, the ensign and the princess, two souls from different worlds brought together by the freakish winds of war. Parker told her of the farm, of the cold winters where the snow piled up to the eaves, and of his fear that he would never be the officer the Navy wanted him to be. Siri listened, her hand resting near his on the cool sand. My father says a man's worth is not in his rank, but in the loyalty of his friends. Your commander, McHale, he loves you like a brother. That is more than any medal. Parker looked at her, the moonlight reflecting in her dark eyes. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel like a bumbling ensign. He felt like a protector. He leaned in, the distance between them closing, until a loud splash from the lagoon startled them. It was Sydney, the island's resident alligator, surfacing for a midnight snack. Sydney, Parker hissed. Not now. We're having a moment. Siri laughed, the tension breaking. He is your friend, too? Truly, this is a magical island, Charles. Even the monsters are friendly. Chapter 5. The Ghost of PT-13. The romance, however, was short-lived. Binghamton, fueled by jealousy and the fear that the Sultan would recommend McHale for a promotion, launched a psychological assault. He began spreading a rumor, a dark, ancient naval superstition that he had discovered in the archives. He claimed that the PT-73 was actually the PT-13, a jinxed boat that had lost 3 crews to the sea under mysterious circumstances. The crew, superstitious to a man, began to unravel. Gruber stopped eating. Willie started seeing omens in the flight patterns of the gulls. Even the brave Parker found himself jumping at every creak of the hull and every flicker of the lights. It's a Jonah ship. Skip, Gruber whispered as they sat on the deck under a blood-red moon. Binghamton found the old logs. The original crew. They were drowned when the gas tanks exploded. They're still on board. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder in the galley. McHale knew it was a trick. He knew Binghamton had faked the records to scare the men into requesting transfers so he could regain control. But he also knew that, in the Pacific, a man's mind was his own worst enemy. Fear was more contagious than malaria. There are no ghosts on this boat, Gruber, McHale said, his voice steady, though he was worried. Only the ones we bring with us. Binghamton is playing with your heads. With air. But that night, the ghosts appeared. Eerie lights flickered in the engine room. The 50 caliber guns fired on their own into the night. The men, terrified, prepared to abandon the base. They were ready to surrender to the sea rather than stay on a haunted vessel. It was Nurse Wilson who found McHale on the pier, watching his crew fall apart. She saw the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. You have to do something, Quentin, she said, her voice filled with genuine concern. They believe it. And if they believe they are cursed, they will lose the will to fight. A sailor without hope is a dead sailor. McHale looked at her, his eyes hard. Binghamton wants them to think they're dead men walking. I'll make him wish he was the one in the grave. Chapter 6. The Masquerade of the Dead. The plan was audacious, even for McHale. If Binghamton wanted the crew of the 13 to be dead, McHale decided they would return from the grave with a vengeance. Using phosphorus paint, stolen sheets from the infirmary, and a few smoke bombs liberated from the munitions locker, the crew transformed themselves into glowing specters. They snuck into Binghamton's quarters in the dead of night. The air filled with the recorded sounds of howling winds and clanking chains provided by a repurposed phonograph. Binghamton, already on edge from his illness and a diet of stress-induced antacids, awoke to see McHale glowing with a sickly, ethereal green light standing at the foot of his bed. Wally, McHale moaned, his voice distorted through a hollow tube. The sea is cold, Wally. Why did you leave us to the sharks? Binghamton shrieked, a sound like a wounded steam whistle, and dived under his covers. Go away. I didn't mean it. The records were faked. I made it all up to get rid of you. Just leave me alone. Give us the transfers, Wally. The ghost of Parker wailed, floating near the window, actually standing on a shaky ladder, held by a terrified Gruber. We need them for our records in the great beyond. Unless you want us to haunt your dreams forever. In his terror, Binghamton surrendered completely. He produced the transfer papers from his nightstand, his hands shaking so hard he could barely hold the pen. As the ghosts vanished into the tropical night, McHale had the evidence he needed. Binghamton signed confession and the cancellation of the transfers, but the victory was hollow. The war was turning. The Japanese were moving closer to the Marami Islands, and the Sultan had to leave. The sanctuary of Taratupa was no longer safe. Chapter 7. The Sultan's Final Dance. Before the Sultan departed, a great gala was held, a final attempt to maintain the facade of peace. The Sultan's daughters were to perform a traditional dance, a sacred ritual of their people. However, a problem arose. Princess Siri had fallen ill with a sudden tropical fever, or perhaps just a broken heart. The dance cannot be performed without three, the Sultan declared, his face a mask of disappointment. It is an omen of bad luck for our journey. McHale, seeing Parker's desperation and the Sultan's growing suspicion, hatched a plan. Your Highness, one of your daughters is simply indisposed, but we have a local expert who can fill in. She is a master of the dance. That expert was none other than Ensign Parker, along with Gruber and Christie, draped in veils and hidden under heavy layers of silk. The princesses danced under the flickering torchlight. Parker, moved by a strange grace, born of pure terror, actually performed reasonably well. Gruber, however, was a bit too enthusiastic with his hip movements, and Christie nearly tripped over his own veil. Binghamton, watching from the sidelines, sensed something was wrong. He approached the dancers, suspicious. One of these girls is an impostor. This one has hairy legs. He lunged at Parker, tearing away the veil. The Sultan gasped. The base froze. Captain Binghamton, McHale shouted, how dare you interrupt a sacred ritual? This is a supreme insult to the Sultan's culture. It's Parker, Binghamton yelled. He's wearing a dress. But the Sultan, seeing the devotion in Parker's eyes and the absurdity of the situation, began to laugh. A deep booming laugh that echoed through the trees. A man who will wear a dress to save his friend's honor is a man I can respect. Captain, you are a fool. Commander McHale, you are a genius.